The day of the hairy freak or the fat slob is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, holy shit, my hair. Thought I brushed it. Look at us. We did it again another 7 days around the sun. I look fucking deranged. This is WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name's Tom. It's down there. Again, WCW Deep Cuts Live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We gather to watch the quote-unquote forgotten television classics from World Championship Wrestling in the 1990s. Hello to everybody from the Erotic Eric Fontaine Fan Club, aka The Chat. Lots of friends here tonight. We're doing well, we're doing great. What a night, folks. That's my hair. There, it's somewhat presentable. Okay, now, speaking of the Erotic Eric Fontaine Fan Club, you can become an official member by going to my new merch store. Check that out. You can get a shirt. I still need to buy my sample. I will do so probably this week. You can also get yourself a shirt to let everybody know that the party has begun. Go do that now, notthattomgreen.threadless.com. Now, the Erotic Eric Fontaine Fan Club is a group of folks adjacent to the Weirdo Empire. Thanks to everybody who not just gives me your eyeballs and your fellowship, but also you hang and you give me money. So you support the channel via YouTube. Give me a couple bucks every month. All these folks do that. You all are great. I appreciate you very much. We do members-only streams once a month called Not Quite Wrestling. We'll do that again here in a couple of weeks. I will let you know. Should have some more news here in the next week or so about what we're doing then. Now, we had some hot chats before the stream started about a big match that happened yesterday. The Infinite Rumble, promoted by Mystery Wrestling. Our pals from up north in Canada. Unless you're from further north in Canada, then it's down south. But I'm in Indiana, so what can we do? Now, if you were awake at around 3 a.m. Eastern, you noticed we had some familiar folks. That's right, the crew at Mystery Wrestling, the Brain Trust. They recruited some grapplers from the Off the Grid / Deep Cuts universe. That's not it. That's it. Congratulations to all of our pals who got booked in the Infinite Rumble. Joey Maggs Jr., Bobby Duncombe III, the Rose, Jerry Bubba Rose Jr., a lot of third generation, second generation wrestlers, as well as the Cajun Alien, a sworn enemy of the Cajun Predator, and our pal, the Ghost of Bert Prentice, stepping out of the Twitch chat into the ring at about 3 a.m. Eastern last night. I got up to pee in the middle of the night. I laid down, I'm like, I'm gonna check the stream for a second, see what these weird boys are doing. And imagine my surprise when I hear the buzzer go off, and the next name that comes out is the Ghost of Bert Prentice. So thank you to everybody at Mystery Wrestling who made that possible. Y'all are the best. They raised $32,000 for the Canadian Cancer Society in the last 24 hours. I hope everybody's still getting some sleep. They definitely deserve it. Now, speaking of YouTube, this happened on YouTube yesterday as well. Posted a new long-form video, a brief history of the Great Muta in WCW. About 22 minutes long. You can check that out after you're done watching this if you haven't watched it already. A lot of rave reviews. It's doing pretty gosh darn well. I'm proud of it. It's a good time. think you should go check it out. Now, if you would like to go chat about that or any other thing with some kind folks, you can do so on my Discord right there, tinyurl.com/Discord for Tom Green. A lot of the folks you're watching live, a lot of the folks you're chatting with right now, they're in the Discord. So go check that out. It's a good time, had by all, and I love it. I love it. I love all of it so much. We are influencing actual professional wrestling happening in 2026, and our goofy, silly little stream that we do together. What a time to be alive. Anyway, also go check out Off the Grid from Sunday, where we watched NWA Southwest from March 2000, including the moment that I posted as a short today, where a restaurant owner pulled a knife during a wrestling promo. It's awesome. So, we're 6 minutes into the stream. We haven't watched a damn second of wrestling. What are we doing? Let's go back to 1991, June to be exact. We're going back to Chicago. WCW Pro, 2 hours of this. And yes, Jack Brickhouse is in the Brickhouse. Let's go.
What's he gonna do? Raise his
And we're
hand
starting
up?
with the chicken.
Well, maybe he's gonna kiss him or something. You never know what these crazy chickens are.
I agree, referee. That's why I put it in the video. It gets mentioned all the time, but it is such a cool moment. It's such a cool moment. Muda climbs up the cage and improvises, and he actually does put out the fire. Martial Law stole the show and the heat on Sunday, Corey. Hell yeah, Ghost of Apprentice. That's wrestling. That is wrestling, baby. It's a shame Cecil missed it. Every time one of our guys would pop in there, he'd have to leave for 6 to 8 minutes.
Today's program is brought to you by Nintendo. Now,
shout out
you're
Nintendo
playing
for
with power.
sponsoring the best wrestling on
Hi,
earth.
everybody. Welcome back to WCW Pro
Larry
Chicago.
Zbyszko isn't
Tony
even
Schiavone,
told
along
to
with the
get rid of his drink.
legend himself, Larry Zbyszko. And a tour of the great city of Chicago for us would not be complete without stopping by the real pride of the city. Brand new Comiskey Park, the first year for the White Sox to
Wow,
play in
shitting
New
all over
Comiskey.
the
Of course,
Cubs
old Comiskey
fans.
Still across the street, and they are in the
Fuck
process of
Wrigley.
tearing that down.
Yeah,
And I'm
Larry's
very
just drinking his
excited about being here. I don't know
coffee.
about you.
Yeah, dark
Well,
coffee
my
and
question
dark
is,
glasses.
they couldn't put
Larry
people in
Zbyszko
the
is
old
hung
Comiskey.
over.
Why would they?
They certainly
build
look like they filmed this in the morning.
They have one of the
Tony's eyes
premier
are barely
ballparks,
open.
not only of this year but of all times in Major League Baseball. It's what they call the state-of-the-art facility. Hopefully, we're going to get inside and take a look.
No
And
way
after you
is
enjoy
that
baseball, we're going to take you to the arena and enjoy World
That's
Championship
awesome, Low
Wrestling
Dog. I'm
this
glad.
Saturday morning.
I'm glad it
What are
was
you
awesome.
laughing about here?
I wonder if they still have the fireworks at this place.
Fans, let's go to
Larry's not all there, man. Bless his heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following
Starting with the Young
contest, tag team
Pistols.
action. It is set for one fall. Introducing
Also,
first,
thanks to everybody for the
from
kind
Wyoming,
words on the Matt Thompson ROH
Tracy,
deep cut
the Young
on Monday.
Pistols. Their opponents total combined weight 400.
I was glad to shock a lot of
New
people
York
with
City,
that video.
Doug Vines.
Doug
And from
Vines.
Eastridge, Tennessee, Jim Boss.
Jim Boss, look at that jacket on Jim
We'd
Boss.
like to say hello to everyone who watches our program.
Like your
Of
mom-
course,
your
right
dad's
here on
wearing your
Channel
mom's
9,
blouse.
WGN, Chicago's very own Channel 9. On the program this week,
So we have
World Television title
Jim
rematch of
Vines,
Super Brawl, beautiful
who
Bobby
needs to put on some
Champion
pants,
A look at the Nikita Koloff
and Jim
ring
Boss
situation.
and his
Barry
great
Windham is
jacket.
here. Our first
Jim
look
looking
on Channel
totally
9
boss,
at
that's right.
TN News, the Rap Master, Larry Z's
Against
Legends with
the
York Foundation.
men who
Of
are
course,
also
we'll be going back
guns.
to when we spent some time earlier in the month at Comiskey Park. But right now at
I will
ringside,
share
here we are,
this.
Tony and Larry.
Um,
We're taking a look at a team
oh,
that really came very close to becoming the U.S. Tag Team
I
Champions of
mentioned
Super
that
Brawl.
during my
A
my
dynamic match.
WCW Jobber video when I talked about Jim Boss. Jim Ross would actually call Jim Boss matches sometimes. Not this time though.
Of teamwork.
But we are checking off Armstrong Bingo. We're marking it already, Jonathan. Mark that on the board.
Right to the
Hey,
midsection.
Winborn. What I was gonna say though about the ROH deep cut. I had a conversation with someone today, ROH deep cuts are officially approved by the owner of Ring of Honor.
Tag team wrestling teamwork. You know, when they ran into the Freebirds at Super Brawl.
I did WCW deep cuts for like 3 years. Ted Turner, not once, reached out and told me he was proud of me.
The crowd seems to be behind these young pistols, and as a layman like
I do 2
yourself,
ROH deep cuts,
believe me when I tell
and
you,
the gentleman who owns the company
really make that a
sends me a
friendly
message,
flow.
and we have a
It's
little
amazing how much
conversation.
extra strength
Friend of the channel,
you
Tony.
dig up when those screams are for you.
Again,
Screams going the way of the Pistols as Steve moves in on Jim Vaughn.
maybe something in the works coming
They
up.
go to a neutral corner. Randy Anderson.
Yes, Mr.
referee,
Honor,
as we begin another
I'm
hour
referring to.
on Chicago's very
Mr.
own
of
Jim
Honor.
Vaughn. Great to have you with us. A kick from
I
Victoria
consider that's on the
And
list
Steve
actually,
putting balls
Brian,
down to
because
the ropes.
I love some of those weird early ROH matches that they're clearly putting on just to appease
Takes care of that face.
the local promoter.
May have, and yes, it does.
Yes, Mr. Dave of Honor.
Notice the way he like snapped the man's neck when he hit on that, Tony.
Jim Boss looking like
Tremendous grab on hand, and we're gonna be talking about some great events
the
coming your way
off-brand
as
model
we
Rick
move
Martel.
into the summertime
Thank you,
rush.
Stagwire.
Our
I
WCW
really wish you would have
Super
told me
Summer
before
Tour
Ted
is
died,
coming
though.
here to Chicago on the 22nd of June. That's about 3 weeks away now. Flying
But
body press.
like I said, we haven't gotten times down or anything, but
And now we've got 4 men in there.
it sounds
The
like we might be
Pistols going at
collaborating
it.
on something
Little
soon.
team.
So, hey, Optimum
Teamwork
Vision.
you talk about, Larry. We have 1 man up, 1 man down. Pick up.
I should reach out to Sheldon Goldberg. I should have reached out to him about Matt Thompson.
Tried to run in. He popped up and made his own save.
I agree, Zach.
Tremendous
I agree, and I actually
drive
told him
over the
that
top. And the
recently.
cover to 3 count.
I don't think we have enough time between AEW beginning and now. I think we need a lot more time and space to start doing deep cuts for AEW.
Well, their tag team efforts paid off for them today, Tony, in terms of teamwork.
Watch this,
That
double
was a
shoulder
whammy.
block.
Boom! They just knocked the wind out of this man altogether. But watch this. Man,
Happy
right in the
upcoming
center.
birthday,
I
Yankee
mean,
Hawk.
that's no
Unfortunately,
wind
we
at all,
won't be
baby, right there. Covers the man,
streaming
close
that
away.
night, but hey,
Keeping those shoulders
happy
down.
birthday to
1, 2,
old
3.
Yankee Hawk,
We're
one
gonna
of
come back
the
and talk about one of the
top reigning
weirdest
members
situations ever, World Championship
of the
Wrestling. But right now,
EEFFC.
Here's a look at the card coming to Chicago.
Oh shit, here we go.
World Championship Wrestling presents
Nope.
Super Summer Sizzler Tour 91. It's
Summer
full sizzle at Pacific Center in Hammond,
Sizzler
Indiana.
Tour.
Wednesday night, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. start. It will also sizzle at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago.
Are you gonna give us the card or
Saturday night,
not?
June 22nd, 8 o'clock start. The main event at the UIC Pavilion. A world title no DQ match.
Oh shit,
featuring
and it's no
the Nature Boy,
DQ.
Ric Flair.
Elegante's gonna put
7'11"
Ric Flair through a table.
Elegante. Also on the card, the Steiner brothers will enter the ring to do battle with Dangerous Dan's 5 enhanced partner, the Angel of Death.
God, that match on paper
Will
looks
take
so
on
much
the
sicker than it
one-man
probably
gang.
actually
There'll be
was.
a Russian chain match featuring the total package like Luger against the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff. In a tag elimination match, Fly Brian.
Again, it sounds like he's making fun of all the
Don't forget
wrestlers.
about the main event. The world title no DQ
I will
match.
never
Ric
forget about the
Flair
main
against
event.
Elegante. Saturday, June 22nd,
Yeah, One Man
8
Gang
o'clock,
parentheses
UIC Pavilion in
Sullivan.
Chicago,
Like his
Illinois.
name is One Man Gang Sullivan. Dude, Van Earl, he killed it. He killed it on these voiceovers.
Back with you in the arena on WCW Pro Chicago. Still more great action.
In the
to come
quote
this week.
arena.
But right now we're going to take
In
a look at something that happened
quotations.
on Nationwide TV not too long ago involving Barry Windham.
Always loved
and a
that on the
chicken.
syndicated
That's
shows
right,
they weren't
a chicken.
allowed to
As
say,
you know, Barry
okay,
Windham
on
is the man who's
PBS
had
recently.
many enemies in World Championship Wrestling.
On Saturday
And we're
night.
not
Well, it
so
wasn't
sure
Saturday
who
night at
this
this point. It was
chicken
World
was,
Championship
but
Wrestling.
We were all taken by surprise when the chicken entered the ring. None
When
more
the chicken
surprised
entered the
than Barry
ring.
Wyndham. Take a look at this.
At WrestleMania a couple years ago, a chicken entered the ring.
Bobby's interference. But what a match that was. And now, in singles competition, there's the flying lariat. I guess the chickens are here to maybe to cheer him on. I don't know.
They called the green screen room the arena.
After the lariat, they'll pick him up for the superplex. Hey, wait a second now. He's on the
Well,
apron.
WrestleMania 15, and then when
Gotta get
Cody
him
lost
down.
to Roman,
Gotta
there
get
was a
Doug
chicken
Jones
in the
down.
ring.
He's harmless. What the heck?
Superplex.
He's harmless, what the heck?
What's he gonna do?
I love how Gordon's like, yeah, just let the fan in the ring.
Kiss him or something. You
What's
know,
the worst that could happen?
Chickens are liable to do.
Wait a
yeah.
Whoa, wait a second.
Yeah, Gordon.
Wait a minute.
This is a bird of another feather right here.
This ain't
Tony
chicken, I'll
is having so
guarantee you
much
that.
fun.
Drop kick. The chicken.
The chicken.
The chicken's gonna fly. He's more than just a yard bird. Whoa.
Tony. He's like, I finally get to have fun calling this show.
Yeah, Wyndham is totally amazed. He's
What if the chicken had a knife? We saw Sunday that it's possible. What is that? Referee's like, it's a chicken.
But the chicken took him apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, it is set for one fall.
Barry should come out with, like,
From
egg
Sweetwater,
repellent.
Texas, weighing 278 pounds, Barry Windham.
Barry Windham.
Opponent from Miami, Florida, 228 pounds, Johnny Minnows.
Me dressed as a fucking chicken. Dave,
That allegedly flew the coop
Dave,
to get in against
you know the
Barry
shit
Windham.
Dusty's making me do?
Comments that he'd like to make
I have to
about
dress like
what
a
we just
fucking
seen.
chicken.
Let's hear these comments from
Like a
Barry
chicken on
Windham.
television.
Brian Pillman, you
And Dustin,
might think that
he's
you
putting
fooled
Dustin
somebody
over
with that
Buddy
chicken
Landau.
coop, but I was the
course
last
they-
guy you were gonna fool. While those feathers were flying, I knew it was you, and I was picking them up because I'm gonna stuff them down your throat. I'm the last guy here on earth
Mom's
that
new
you're gonna
boyfriend
fool.
against Barry Windham.
All right, Barry claims it was flying.
Oh my
over the
god,
chicken
that could have
I'm
not
not
been
so sure
fun.
that or not.
Yes, this is the same year that Sid tried to kill Pillman. This is kind of why they're doing it. Is because Brian. Oh, hey.
What the heck is that? But again,
Larry
you're gonna have
Zbyszko
to
does
prove
not know
that.
what a
Now, if
monkey
we were in a court
is.
of law, Barry Windham would find out that justice does not exist
I love
in the
that
courts
so
of
far we've had
law.
multiple
So we'll
wrestlers
find out if,
wearing hangover
Barry
sunglasses.
WCW.
And we are minutes,
Gorilla at ringside.
literal minutes,
Oh, Lordy.
just 10 minutes into this episode.
Much
got
like we saw the
almost
chicken
2
in
hours
Riverside
left in the
who followed
stream.
mascot, a gorilla shows
Well, his
up at
gorilla
ringside.
monsoon in
Mike Patrick, the
WCW.
official, Barry cast an eye over there.
Oh, hey, hell of a DDT bump by Mom's new boyfriend.
Well, Barry Windham's a very smooth operator, Tony. He is
Very smooth
transformed into one of the
operator.
greatest professional wrestlers
No, that's Buddy Landau.
we'll ever see. What the heck
He
is
got
with this
fired
guy?
for
I don't know, but he's
blowing
having
a
good time, and the
snot
fans
rocket
seem to
at
love him
somebody.
ringside.
Son of Kong. Great reference, Glitter Dust
Barry
Girl.
Windham.
That is the son, it's the Grandpa Kong. It would be, he's older than the Kongs. It would be Grandpa Kong.
There's a look at the gorilla who's
Would Larry own a monkey? Or would he, like, date a lady that had a monkey and then bitch the whole time? Even though he knew going into the relationship that she owned a monkey. I love that he just did the superplex to send a message to the monkey. I'm going to beat your ass, monkey. He just got beat up by the chicken last week. He knows the chicken, he knows the monkey's there, and he still turns his back on the monkey. Cecil Nix, hello. Hello, Cecil Nix. A participant, a warrior, a commentator in the Mystery Wrestling Infinite Rumble that we discussed at the top of the stream. Again, it's a shame that he missed all of our friends that were in the Infinite Rumble. But shout out to Mystery Wrestling for over $32,000 raised in the last 24 hours to beat up cancer.
Of course, behind us, the old Comiskey Park, and Larry had a chance to come last year to the very last game.
Larry
ever
Zbyszko is
played.
about how
September 30th
Evil
for the
Uno
moment. That was,
looked
of course, you were born
during
here,
the
so I know
final
you've been to
hour of
some
the
ball
stream.
games here.
Oh, I've been to Comiskey Park over the years. They had the fireworks. The only problem
Tony
is
is so
the White Sox
cold,
were
and it's
losers then, and they're
June.
losers now,
They're
so
not-
I never cared.
They're not losers now. They won 94 games last year,
Hey, I won 10,000 wrestling matches.
and many people feel they'll win the American League West this year. Let's go back to action, fans.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
There we
the following
go.
contest, it is
Hey,
set for one
Nathan.
fall. Introducing first from
Got the Rat
Motown.
Master,
He weighs
Ian News.
400
Yeah, Larry,
pounds.
that had to have been Larry's move at the bar,
News.
waiting for somebody to be like, hey, is that Jim Belushi? I was very surprised. Again, I was telling everybody, I woke up to go pee in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. I'm like, I'll turn on the stream for a minute before I go back to sleep. And literally the first person out when I get the TV turned on is the ghost of Burt Prentice. And I was so happy. Get ready to go. Cutting to fans openly laughing at your new hot baby face. Look at those excited goth ladies.
1, 2,
3.
The ones left standing, now my posse and me. Yo, baby, yo, baby,
Yeah,
yo.
housewives love PN News.
Baby, yo, baby, yo.
All right, give me a yo, baby, yo, as we take a look at the
Yeah.
loving in our first look at PN News, the
Dude, I would love to see PN News and Sting against Stan Hansen in the Great Muta.
Everybody having a good time with
Buddy Lee Parker.
singing yet?
BL Parker. That should have been his name, BL Parker.
Yes, Larry, you can do that.
How offended do you think Buddy Lee Parker was when PN News shows up? He's like, that motherfucker couldn't do 10 squats.
America and parts of Canada, if he did a swan off the Sears Tower, he just walked right through Lake Michigan and pick up the smell.
Tremendous high back
BL
body
versus
drop that time.
PN.
PN News, who ignited the crowd with his rap single.
Boy, for a big man, he got his feet right into the face of Sergeant Parker.
Right hand to the midsection, now to the ropes to the other side.
Oh.
Belly to belly. Right off of the ropes.
Sergeant Parker better get
Rockstar Gamer, thank you for the follow.
That's a big man going up there, Tony. Oh, no!
Considering PN News kind of had a rep, I heard, for hurting people, it is wild that they were like, yeah, you could do a top rope splash as your finish. Why not? Well, they didn't bring him into the storyline. They just did a house show match. Muta was just in for 2 shots, and one of them was a tag team match with PN News.
Well, I tell you, I hate rap music, so as far as I'm concerned, he's disqualified. But speaking of the man,
The rap attempter PN News.
was unbelievable the way that he just, watch this, just came off that top rope like he weighed 180 pounds, and he doesn't. That's impressive.
Just ask Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker how much he weighs. The Rap Master is here.
He probably wouldn't know.
Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
Like, somebody can't jump on you and then you know how much they weigh.
Coming to Chicago.
Are we getting the house show?
All
Nope.
the great
Hey,
athletes who
it's our
competed
boy.
in WCW. One of the absolute greatest, maybe the greatest, was Magnum TA. Remember him? Now, if a certain figure
Remember
on our
him?
television pickups looks a little familiar around that ring, yes, you're right, that's it. That's Magnum TA.
What?
His career, of course, was cut short, almost his life, by a car accident back in 1986. Many of you have sent cards and letters, and you've been inquiring about
Jack,
him.
wake up.
Well, he works in the front office now. He's part of the action behind the scenes at WCW. And he's very, very grateful to all you wrestling fans for the great job you've done in making him want to keep on living and want to keep on being somebody.
Was he
in this
going to
business.
kill himself?
There's no doubt that he was probably the greatest champion of all time. Could have been the world champion. Even though he's not wrestling anymore, he is physically okay.
Why are
and
you
for that,
so
we're
sad?
grateful. This is a Brickhouse bonus.
Why was he talking like Magnum TA had died? Fans, trust me, Magnum TA has not committed suicide. Please trust
This
me.
week on Larry Z's Legends, we have Miss Alexandra York and the entire York Foundation.
Looks like Terry
And they
Taylor
think
was
things
at
come in,
the
small packages,
the
but then
Obama
again, Wolverines
Presidential
aren't big
Library
either. Now, I
opening.
know women are always up to something.
with all those
What's on your
all those
mind?
comedians showing up wearing tan
exactly
suits
what's on
like,
my mind, Larry Zbyszko. I'm here to introduce my new prospective member. I'm very proud of the selection I've made and the
Larry's
choice
like,
I've
I would
made in
also like
deciding
to
to add
introduce my
another member
member.
to my foundation.
Now, you're talking about Dustin
Brickhouse
Rhodes.
did.
I know you
It
made
was
an
kind of
offer
a
to Dustin
why Magnum
Rhodes.
TA rules, but it
Dustin
sounded
Rhodes,
like
as
Magnum
you know, had a
TA
bit of
was
an attitude
dying.
problem. We dealt with that, and there's a place for Dustin Rhodes, but I'm not so sure
Yakuza
that it's
Kick,
in the
thank you
York
for the
Foundation,
Prime
but
sub.
we do have plans for him.
Okay, well now,
this membership you're offering, or give me some specifics to all the
That's
people
what it
out
sounded
The only
like, Zach.
specifics you need to know is that it's been offered
Like halfway
to one
through the
Ricky
script, he's like,
Morton, and I would like for him
Ricky
to come out
Morton?
here now.
Fuck, he's alive.
Oh,
Yeah. As you know, I've offered you a contract.
Look at
Have-
that
have you looked
jacket.
over it?
Yes, I have read the contract. I understand it.
Yeah, I don't think Mr.
understand the financial
Hughes
status
is
of the
alive.
contract, and I know
Also,
there's a lot of money involved.
didn't acknowledge it earlier,
I
Cecil.
hadn't made my mind up, but I
912 would
will
have been
get back to
awesome. Especially if
Well, now that doesn't
He
appear
could not
appear to
do
me
choke
like it was a
slams.
positive yes or a no.
I'm pleased with what I heard, Mr. Zabisco.
You are pleased. Well, Miss Alexandra York is pleased. What about you, Mr. Taylor?
We would love to have somebody with a quality wrestler that Ricky Morton is.
With the
That
quality
Dustin
wrestler.
Rhodes, I know they say he has a lot of potential, but maybe he just isn't ready mentally. The York Foundation is strong because it's built from the bottom up. We have Miss York with the computer. We have the ultimate bodyguard. You have the greatest wrestler in, and I need help. And I think the man to help.
I need
would
help.
be perfect would be Ricky Morton.
I'm glad
Well,
you
we'll find
recognize
out in
it,
the weeks to
Terry.
come for the
He's not a
legend himself.
therapist, though.
It's hard to be humble when you're so great.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh shit, it's Stan Hansen, and he has poop all over his boobs.
introducing first from Borgard, Texas. He weighs 307 pounds.
For those of you newbies, I have told the story before that when I was a child, I did not know what tobacco looked like when somebody was chewing it. So I assumed that Stan Hansen was eating his own poop. Got a hype train going on against Jamie McKinnon, who is going to die. Oh my gosh. I think the worst part is getting the chew all over you. Yeah, it's crazy. The Desperados can't find Stan Hansen, and he's on television. Yeah, I loved that. I was a big fan of Cecil Hansen. Especially the spot where you guys were standing in the middle of the ring just kind of doing this for a bit.
And here's a man that has his chaps on still, who has a jaw tobacco, who spits it everywhere.
Stan Hansen, but he is afraid to hit people. Great
He's
thing.
the cleanest guy in the world with that tobacco spit, but he is certainly one of the most talented and most dangerous ever in World Championship Wrestling.
Well, he's one of the
I don't
most
think Stan's
vicious
taking those
strong
chaps off.
Stan Lariat's, repertoire means that he doesn't
Stan Lariats. That's not his name, Larry. You can't just give the wrestlers new names.
Head to toe with tobacco just running down. I mean, the man should be fined alone just for being a slob. But look at the torture, and he loves this.
Stan, you have to stop pumping his shoulder, dude.
Submission, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Like he's just humping him.
With a submission hold, and we didn't even see the lariat this time. He's just trying to pull the man's head away from the shoulder shift and stomping on McKinnon again.
Yeah.
Hansen will be in Chicago on the 22nd of June. And fans, we want to take now a look at the new WCW dolls from Galoob.
Since you're wrestling
Could you imagine a Stan Hansen Galoob figure with just brown stains all over it?
Give you a clothesline.
I didn't watch it, but I imagine Paul talking to that action figure is much more enlightening than that Chris Van Vliet interview today. Yeah, it was a different era, Reverie, where we all chewed on poop.
I've had playing with my World Championship Wrestling Galoob doll, but now it's time for the old 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, Uncle!
Oh, they're having a match during COVID.
Yes,
Why is Paul sleeping at TV?
WCW
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is, Cecil. Like, Chris Van Vliet interviews are just, hey, could you say something that would make a good TikTok?
Continues this summer with some of the
Over
most
and over
exciting
again.
talent in the entire sports world. Right now,
I
let's
saw
take
a
look
clip
at our
he
newest
interviewed
entry. Our
Layla
first look at this
from
footage
Lay
of
Cool
the
last week,
Desperados.
and she was trying to give him like a real answer about my TikTok pal Bill DeMott allegedly was like sexually harassing her in Deep South, and like she's going real deep into it, and he's just like, huh, So, who named Lay Cool? Yeah, how the fuck couldn't these guys find Stan Hansen? He was in the last segment. And it is wild that Stan Hansen quit over that gimmick.
Introducing first from Nashville, Tennessee, he weighs 208 pounds, Ricky Morton.
You know what? Good on Ricky for... I was going to say good on Ricky for wearing the same jacket as the promo, but he might have only had one jacket. Jeff Sword. Jeff Sword should wrestle Stu Grayson and give him some PTSD from last year's longest match ever. Jeff Sword is a dope name. Jeff S-Word. Jeff S-Word. That's a layered joke. My name's Jeff Shit. Also, Jeff Sword looks cool as hell.
Taylor, who obviously would like the idea of having Ricky Morton, a member of the York Foundation. But you know,
Will Shield,
the
the partner of Jeff Sword, not booked.
Ever since he arrived in World Championship Wrestling in 1985, he and Robert were
I don't think her laptop is a laptop.
on television became World Tag Team
Hey, La Parka Fan Club.
and he has had legions
Glad
of
to
fans.
have you here.
I went on a tour with him during 1986, where he just completely in the southeastern part of the United States, and look, he's looking over and looking at the
Shivani's like, remember 5 years ago when Ricky was over?
Well, they did back then, I can tell you that. For Ricky Morton, it was tremendous. The Rock and Roll Express were at their zenith.
Jeff Sword looks like he got so many bookings when Bruiser Brody died.
To have Ricky Morton. I mean, the man's a proven seasoned veteran. He's very fast. He's ring-wise. He's been involved, like you said, with tag team situations. He could easily combine with Terrence Taylor and make a fantastic tag team combination. So,
Jeff Sword should have brought out a knife. Wow, Jeff Sword, a 4-time USWA tag team champion. I feel like anybody that was willing to take a bump could get a run with a title in the USWA in the 90s. Yeah, it's a word processor. It's not a laptop. It's got that little screen. I had one as a child. But it's like two lines of text.
After you sign enough autographs, you realize that the ignorance of the people is
I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen like a reboot of this gimmick in NXT, but with AI. He was the modern day Ricky Morton. Like somebody that was over at one point as like a tag team setting. Just feels outdated as hell now. I hate to say it because Ricky Morton's way better than this dude. Enzo Amore.
Ricky Morton.
No drop kick, no sunset flip. He just used it.
They gave him the thumbs up, and Doug Dillinger's like, "Wait, there was a match happening?"
He just walked away and left the York Foundation standing high and dry. Take a look, you know, Ricky Morton here. Boom, really, this is a cheap shot move. I used it many times myself. This was not a wrestling move, which Ricky Morton does know. Now, whether he's trying to impress the York Foundation or
Nice of him to caress Jeff Sword's head during the pin. What a sweetie pie. WCW continue sounds like a threat.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There we go. Arn Anderson's coming in.
Special return match.
Frankie Kazarian's a good pick for modern day Ricky Morton.
Championship. It is set for one fall with a 10-minute time limit.
And honestly, the Bullet Club Hunter is a way funnier gimmick than Richard Morton. The Bullet Club Hunter who couldn't defeat anybody in the Bullet Club. Or was it the Elite, not the Bullet Club. Either way, he like got to Doc Gallows and lost and then left.
By beautiful Bobby, and now his chance to get the title back here on Channel.
That's a good one. The Trent's trying something new.
Maybe so.
Or at least trying to try something new. Ortiz is a good pick, though. And I love Ortiz, like you said. This is said with love, but he hasn't changed anything up, you know. Got beautiful Bobby and Arn Anderson. What the hell is this? Good wrestling happening? Fuck.
After he lost it on nationwide TV at the end of December, it was a mere 2 weeks and Arn Anderson won the title back. And I know that has to be going through the mind of beautiful Bobby that Arn Anderson can return the favor.
I'm sure this is dope as hell. I'm sure I've seen this 15 times. But I'm happy to watch it a 16th.
If you're watching us down in Des Moines, I know we have some fans down in there that watch Channel 9. Up in Minneapolis, we're going to be coming up to Minneapolis very soon with World Championship Wrestling. Wherever you are, all around the United States, welcome to WCW Wrestling.
I love that Arn in like 5 seconds just got over that left hand.
You're taking a look at the top
I hate to sound like a old wrestler on a podcast. Yeah, Arn and Bobby are a tag team. And no, they were a tag team by like January. Zabisco must have been so psyched in '98 when Jay Leno actually got booked by WCW. He's like, I have so many jokes that I've been offloading, and now I can bring them back.
That rattled the teeth right there.
That's right, Yoshitatsu was the Bullet Club Hunter,
We're going to be going back to Comiskey Park,
which was also sad.
we were there earlier on, and next week we're going to be at Comiskey Park also to talk to the owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, right here on Chicago's very own.
Cool, we're gonna talk to the owner of the White Sox next week. Cool.
Beautiful Bobby slaps him back, right hand, left hand, combination blows, down goes on, back up though, regroup it.
Well, Alfonso's like, no, dude, come in. You have to let him punch you.
The corner with his arms up, ready for some more blows.
A little peekaboo style there, but Arn slapped Bobby in the face. Really shouldn't have took for granted that Eaton wasn't going to retaliate in full force like he did. Well, that'll wake Arn Anderson up.
1 fall, 10 minutes for the world.
I don't think Bobby's wearing the Confederate flag. I just think he's wearing red, white, and blue stars.
Reversal to a hammerlock and an elbow.
Yeah, I love WGN. We got the Chicago feed where I lived. You know, Roachdale, Indiana. So this is the version of Pro that I watched as a child.
You know that elbow is legal, Larry. Why do we have to argue about things like this?
It's not legal. I'm not saying you can't get away with it. I've used it many times myself.
Yeah, boy.
All I'm saying is...
Exactly goes to Burt Price. Except for that one time we were watching that Dangerous Alliance 8-man tag, and he clear as day yells, son of a bitch, into the camera.
World television champion. Nobody better in the ring.
Bobby was like massaging Arn's bald spot with his thumb. Oh, Ric Flair's here. I thought they were just really happy for the collar and elbow.
Beautiful Bobby becoming a world television champion has vaulted to one of the top contenders now to the world title.
The Gourd Buster. Arn and Bobby are both 31 years old.
It's what Anderson calls the Gourd Buster, and it was
31.
Ric Flair has made an appearance.
Well, that will bust your gourd, I tell you.
Yeah, Ric Flair is gone soon thereafter this.
Now that's it. Stay on him, stay on him, stay on him.
He was very deliberate that time about staying on his man. He made it slowly over to the far side ropes. As you take a look at the world champ looking on.
Ric Flair wearing a suit that appears to be made out of my parents' old couch.
They'll take care of your esophagus.
Like, Ric Flair looks like he's ready to go substitute host America's Funniest Home Videos. Imagine Rick trying to do all those voices that Saget would do. Bobby Eaton is very good at making you believe he's hurt.
This little scenario works okay if Flair comes out, if Arn is the champion, because disqualification.
Arn was born with an enlarged prostate.
It's a whole different set of circumstances. And
he came out ass first so they can do a colonoscopy. Hell yeah. Flair left a couple. Oh my gosh. MJK802, thank you for the follow. Flair left a couple weeks before the Great American Bash. Great first chat, MJK. I don't think we can disagree with you. Bobby Eaton is, in fact, good at wrestling. I don't think we can argue that. Why did Bill Alfonso do a spin move? Every once in a while, I look up at the screen and it's like the match glitched.
That's it, Arn. In the throat, in the chest. Let's go. Keep it up and pin him.
Slow down here, champ. You don't need to be a cheerleader out here.
Champ.
Just thinking, what would I do? Beat him quick.
Be an analyst here, Larry.
Well, I'm analyzing it right now. It almost looks as though Arn Anderson is saying, hey, this is, he's just torturing us. It's almost like he's not
Arn Anderson pulling a tub girl there.
to remember his name forever. But the smart thing to do is beat the man, get that 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, who would have thought that 4.5 years after this, Bill Alfonso would be one of the best heel managers in wrestling?
Drives the shoulder to the midsection. Very close to being a low blow there on that shoulder.
Not a tub girl, he's pulling a goatee.
On the back with a big sledgehammer blow. The chin of Bobby again, and Bobby is in trouble. Nailed in the corner.
I'm not a big enough old internet pervert.
Take a beating. It's already been proven a man can take a beating. That's why you got to lay him out fast.
A coming drop. They both collide. That time the back of the head of
Arn and Bobby loved that spot. I feel like most Arn and or Bobby matches had that spot going into the comeback. I have heard that story, Elias. I've heard it from both Goldberg's point of view and a couple of other folks, so I believe it is 100% true. It was just Goldberg not understanding that as awesome as Bobby is, it would kind of fuck up the whole thing if Bobby beat him. Leg drop, baby. At his best, in his element. Look at Arn sell that thing. We're just I think a week or two away from Ric Flair versus Bobby Eaton at the Clash, where they both legitimately trained for it like it was a marathon, and then they got to the building and they were told, oh, we're only giving you 15 minutes for a 2 to 3 falls match.
Choking beautiful Bobby like a maniac, pushing the referee down. And the animosity that apparently built up from that tag team.
I'm so mad at you for wrestling my best friend, I'm going to choke you to death.
Exploding in the ring. Bobby Eaton asked for it at the beginning of this match, Tony. He sure is getting it.
Flair knowing that Bobby, who is still the
Crazy that you could turn on wrestling at 9 a.m. against Saturday morning cartoons, and grown men are choking each other with belts.
We'll be back. Let's take a look at the card in Chicago.
No, let's go back to the attempted homicide.
Wrestling presents Super Summer Sizzler Tour 91. It will sizzle at the Civic Center in Hammond,
Like
Indiana.
back then, we assumed everything was done live.
7:30 p.m. start.
So it sounds like Banner Earl Jones here
Chicago, Saturday night, June 22nd,
just didn't give a shit
The
about
main
Bobby
event,
Eaton almost being
Pavilion.
murdered.
Overall title no DQ match featuring the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yankee Hawk, I would say Bill Alfonso, just because he got so much heat. That's a good point. I tuned back in when I woke up this morning, and yeah, it was everybody slowly noticing there was a hole in the ceiling,
Against the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff.
and it was because of a hot dog.
Ryan will team up with Sting to take on Barry Windham and Arn Anderson. Don't forget about the main event, the World Title
Like,
No DQ match.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think you guys know better than me. But what if, like, the owners of the building are like, yeah, we have to kick you out. You can't do your wrestling stuff here anymore. You kicked a hot dog through the ceiling.
This program was sponsored by Three Musketeers. The bar
Big
that's
on chocolate.
Back in the arena on WCW Pro
Okay,
Chicago
good. Nothing
fans.
was
We're going to get
broken.
back to the action in just a few moments. But right now, as you know,
I'm glad.
just a couple of weeks ago,
That
only
would have
on
been
pay-per-view,
awful
Super Brawl, one of the
if
hottest events ever
20-something
in World
hours
Championship Wrestling.
and do a rumble.
And one of the most explosive situations coming out
break
of
the
Super Brawl
building. I'm
has
glad
to deal
nothing
with
was broken.
Sting and the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff. Right now, we're going to take a look at some very exclusive footage in an incident that occurred in the dressing room area between Sting and the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff.
Who is this?
That's not the dressing room.
That's
a big-ass dressing room if that's the
I'm
case.
telling you, that looked like Nikita Koloff.
Oh, Sting pushed his whole partner out of the way. Koloff had that chain around his arm. Sting saved Luger from
You
getting
couldn't
nailed,
see it
but
because he
Sting
did it
got
in the dark.
right in the face.
Brother, he got hammered right there.
I always loved getting dressed with an audience like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners and still WCW World Tag Team Champions, the Steiner Brothers.
Yes, Stan Hansen's in the dressing room with all these people watching him. Yeah, Steiner Brothers won, and Sting and Lex Luger are dead.
But Tony Schiavone on those.
Why are they flashing the lights? I never noticed that when watching Super Brawl.
Tony will be able to get an interview
I want to see him. I want Tony to talk to him right now. I want to see him.
Tony's back. Tony's right. Let's go back to Tony Schiavone. Sting's hurt badly.
He's going after him right here. That's Tony.
Tony Schiavone's like, listen, guys, you won't believe it. Stan Hansen kicked down the bathroom stall door and is eating poop.
That's what's going on.
Oh my God!
Get Tony out of the way. He looks like the mannequin puppet from Goosebumps.
They're fighting all over the
In
back
that
of the
little
building.
get up.
I'm gonna tell you what, they're taking this thing right outside.
Why are the dressing rooms right by the front door?
Right here.
Like, that looks like where the fans came in.
They're in the parking lot. Koloff's got a chair outside. We gotta get security.
Like, yeah,
out there.
let's have the wrestlers dress right
I'm the kind of guy
outside the
that
front door.
loves the heat in the kitchen. Just the kind of guy I am. Nikita Koloff had to make a point, and he wanted to use the stinger to make his point. You cost
Listen,
us
Nikita
possibly the
Koloff,
world tag title,
me and my
Nikita.
really thin
Not
tank
only
top
did you
straps
jump
aren't
on
going
me,
to
but
take
you
it.
cost us those titles. Something that would have meant an awful lot to the total package and me. You know what's going to mean even more?
Also,
Get
Sting's
back
face
in
paint
that
doesn't
big
look done.
bald-headed Russian face of yours.
Bald-headed Russian
Ladies
face
and
of
gentlemen,
yours.
the following contest, it is set for one fall. Introducing first. From
That sounds like a bit that
Lithuania,
Cecil would come
he
up with,
weighs
RBH. Two guys fight outside, and then the fight just ends because they lose each other. It's too dark out. Nikita loves showing people his tongue. He's a big tongue guy.
Dave Johnson.
Dave Johnson. We've seen him before. He is a hairy 11-year-old. Dave Johnson always looks like a child who won a sweepstakes to be able to wrestle his favorites.
It's wild. Don't shake your head. Just say something. Hello? Well,
I think Nikita started being billed as Lithuanian like right around this time. American Morishima is a good call, Zach. I remember Chikara did a create a gimmick contest years and years and years ago. I was like in college, and a gimmick I sent in was Takeshi Morishima, which is if Morishima did a Maury Povich gimmick. Like, he's a Japanese wrestler that's just obsessed with paternity tests.
Another great week of
Buck didn't
WCW
like it.
Pro right here on Chicago's very own Channel 9. I want to thank Doug Abel of the White Sox for allowing us to come out here this week and enjoy all the action.
Yeah, thank you for the White Sox for letting us broadcast from across the street from the building.
Next week, got a big surprise for you. We're going to be joined by Jerry Reinsdorf, the chairman of the White Sox. He'll be with us next week.
Like, they didn't get anywhere near the stadium.
And I'm sure you'll have some great comments not only about World Championship
Anybody
Wrestling,
could
but
have
of
done a
course, the White Sox
broadcast there.
themselves.
Well, you know what I heard? You know, I heard that Jerry, Mr. Excitement Reindorf, and Eddie the Beaver Einhorn want to go tag team against you and me.
Eddie
right
Einhorn was
there
actually a
on
wrestling promoter.
Home plate.
No, they don't. No.
Of course they don't.
No,
So why
no.
would they bother to build this gigantic stadium for a team that loses and loses and loses?
And won 94
I mean, they're a
games
baseball
last
team. They
year,
need a
Larry
stadium.
Zbyszko, and will
94
win the
games.
American League West this year.
Wow.
Fans for Larry Zbyszko.
Tony sounds so much more
Eventually
energized to
on
talk
Channel
about
9.
baseball than wrestling. So we're going to go right into the second episode. We got 3 episodes tonight. Dude. Let's go right to it. Ba-bam. That was from last
The only
week.
specifics you need to know is that it's been offered to one Ricky Morton, and I would like for him to come out here now.
Ricky Morton?
Yeah. As you know, I've offered you a contract. Have you looked over it?
Yes, I have read the contract. I understand it. I understand the financial status.
No,
of the
actually,
contract.
I
know there's
cannot
a
read
lot of money
contracts.
involved.
I'm
hadn't made my mind
physically
up, but I
unable
will
to.
get back in touch with you.
You should do that, Zach. And yes, you should absolutely thank Caitlin Clark for personally inviting you to filming across the street from the Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
This program is brought to you by Impel Marketing.
Exactly, Cecil. They put so much effort into stories. Guys just leave. And yeah, it's awesome. And you know everybody involved thought it was going to be the big thing. Like, this is going to turn the company around.
Jerry Reinsdorf, and we are at the brand new Comiskey Park. And Larry, as I know,
It looks like all 3 of them are green screened in from different places.
Thank you, Larry. You just stay over there. We're talking to Jerry Reinsdorf, of course, the chairman of the White Sox. And I've heard you say this
Also,
before,
they
and I would
didn't
agree,
change
this is really
clothes in the last
a stadium
week.
that the whole city of Chicago can be proud of.
It's a fan stadium. There's no question about it. It's a wonderful place to watch a ball game.
Jerry Reinsdorf also wearing the hangover sunglasses.
Of course, the White Sox having a tremendous year. Now, we have some tremendous action this week on WCW Pro Chicago with all the top superstars of WCW. We'll be talking about our next event
Are
coming
you
back
sure
to the
about all of
UIC
them?
Pavilion. Mr. Reinsdorf will be back with us talking about the Chicago White Sox, and hopefully you'll be in a better mood. And fans,
Does Jerry
we'll be
even know
back.
this
Right
is a
now, let's go to
wrestling
the
show?
ring.
They were clearly in Chicago for one day, and were told, you need to get 3 months worth of footage that we can just plug wherever. PN News is back. Look at that armpit. That's a good point, Brian. I bet a lot of athletes like Larry Zbyszko.
Put your hands together there, Larry. What? I can't hear
Wasn't
you.
Jerry
Your earplugs
Reinsdorf the
in.
big heel
I know this
in
guy's
the
coming out. I'm ready for him.
Jordan doc
PN News.
that everybody watched during COVID? That ghost is so excited for PN News.
Put your hands together.
Zach. Yeah, all the top stars, and this is the opener. Okay, thank you, Yankee. I'm not a sports guy, but I watch it. Look at that kid. That kid eats ass. Bobby eating the butthole.
Get out of your seat and groove to the beat. If everybody jams, it'll be real sweet.
Yeah.
Jam,
Again, housewives love PN News.
jam, slam.
He looks like a drag kid. My sister used to date a queer woman who did drag as Tim McGraw. Like, that was her gimmick. And in real life, she would dress kind of like that. I will try that, Cecil. And if it's not, I will hit up Andy and be like, we need to get a bonus for booking PN News and Max Caster. What if there was an option to do like a Royal Rumble in 5-star Booker, which is an excellent time waster game, and it's all 30 entrants do rap gimmicks. Tim Fry, who does look like he has spent a lot of time on a skillet.
The CPN News. I think there's a good place for him on Soul Train.
Tim Fry looks like if the WWF got really mad at Dustin Rhodes and booked a little person to make fun of
But as
him.
an athlete, watch this man move this weight. Really, it's incredible for a man.
Oh my God. Pia News is so happy to be wrestling this little man. Yeah, Pia News is the Post Malone of his day. Yeah, he's the rapper that all of us boring white people listen to. Not me, you know.
White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf, a little bit later on, once again, as we were at Comiskey Park earlier this month. But right now, we take a look.
He looks like the Dynamic Dudes' mini. Johnny Acito.
Really uses his weight to his advantage, doesn't he?
No, Pia News stood for Paul New. Like, he confirmed that in an interview. That PN was Paul New.
I wish he'd quit singing, though.
Paul New News.
Good belly to belly.
He called for his music. He put on the belly to belly. And now
Okay, Ace of Trace, you have a point. The Grandmaster PN Paul New News.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner,
How embarrassing would it be if the guy kicked out? And they're like, do we just keep the music going?
Put your hands together.
Put your cotton plugs in your ears.
It would have been a good bit if he missed, and then they kept playing the music while the guy beat the shit out of him. The Rose, Jerry Bubba, Paul News, New Rose. Thank you. That's a new gimmick we can get someone somewhere to book.
Now let's take a look at the card for our big event coming up to Chicago.
That ponytail thing must have tickled him so much.
World Championship Wrestling presents Super Summer Sizzler
Fuck you, Hammond.
Tour 91 at UIC Pavilion in Chicago, Illinois. Saturday night, June 22nd, 8 o'clock bell time. The main event is a world title.
Well, Cecil, there's always next year. I know Uno was talking in the stream about not wanting to do a wrestling match next year. I'm sure. Yeah, psychoneurotic news.
There'll be a Russian chain match featuring Lex Luger
Psycho Mike
against the
is
Russian
P&News.
Nightmare Nikita Koloff. And in a tag elimination match, Bob Bryant will team up with Sting to try to put down Barry Windham and his partner, Arn Anderson. Don't forget about the main event. It's a world title no DQ match featuring Ric Flair against
That could be the fundraiser.
And it's all Saturday night,
All of you
June
beating the
22nd,
shit out of Uno
at the UIC Pavilion
for
in
asking you to
Chicago.
do another
Great tickets
24-hour
available at all.
match.
Ticketmaster Alice or Georgia by calling 559-1212.
That would have been great if Cool Ref did not end up winning. Cecil wins and Uno's like, your reward, and then a bunch of vampires walk out. You get to do your thing.
7 pounds, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
There were 6 wrestlers in the locker room at this taping. Oh, it's my boy Joey Maggs. His son wrestled last night.
Jumping Joey Maggs, slammed now by Stan the Lariat Hansen. Stan's going to be on the big card coming in 2 weeks here to Chicago, the UIC Pavilion.
Shout out to those 2 guys in the front row that I totally bet read the Observer. Oh, that excites me, Cecil. If you have a much better idea than Vampire NWO. Ah! I love that they zoom in to make it look as inappropriate. Did he get DQ'd for a Boston Crab? No, they just started the match. Why the fuck would you start the match while he was mid-Boston Crab outside the ring? That is so unfair.
Maybe to start the match.
It's too late for Joey Maggs.
It's way too late for Joey Maggs. It was too late for
Like,
Joey.
wouldn't that be a... I don't know.
By the way, fans, Larry Z's going to be talking to Stan Hansen after the break.
Dude, if Johnny steals that before you get to do it, I will... You need to out him as a thief, and we can get him canceled for being a good idea thief.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, as a result of a submission, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Stan Hansen building up to his ROH Pure title match with all these submission wins.
He's very bad, there's no doubt about it.
This is our Western Union replay.
Well, watch this. This was sent to
Yeah, no, I think
underneath that little bit of
Stan Hansen's rope is the one gal that Nick Patrick's not going to be hitting on when she walks through the crowd. Yeah, when they rang the bell, I don't blame them for not having an idea what the hell it meant.
Small the back is calling on this man. Western Union, the fastest way to send money. Back with Larry Z's Legends after this.
This week on
Hell
Larry
yes,
Z's
the
Legends,
athletic
I have
oh
the
my
man
God,
who
Larry
has the most
Zbyszko looks like a
feared
coke dealer.
reputation in World Championship Wrestling. Stan Hansen is a man who does not always believe in
We
winning
need
matches,
more
but always
interviewers
in hurting
wearing 90s
opponents.
athleisure
There's a lot
wear.
of young bucks around here that you want to ride.
He wants to ride the Young Bucks.
Young bucks around here. Oh, I'm running around the WCW. Well, Stan Hansen's still here. I'm still putting my name down on the contract.
The Russian coke addict, Larry Zbyszko.
Wants to step in that ring and try to
I used to backyard when I was a teenager with the guy that dressed like that. He was in his 30s.
No, I don't have a bunch of big bulging muscles, but I got this cowbell.
I was
and I got
16.
A lot of guts and a lot of determination. But there's one guy that really sticks out in my mind since the time he came up and kind of issued me a big challenge. And I thrive.
And it's that Malachi Jackson, the shittiest of the Young Bucks.
Dustin Rhodes. And you know something?
I will send a screenshot of this to Scotland and be like, dude, you need to add hangover sunglasses to your ring announcer look.
I'm a natural-born wrestler that goes after you, Dustin. You bring it on. You challenge me, boy. I'm going to teach you a little
I don't think you
manners like your
challenged
daddy
him.
should have done when I take this rope and I'm going to strap you all the way out of the building.
From the legend himself, it's hard to be humble.
He really wanted to shoehorn in that catchphrase. There was no connective tissue.
From the Pacific Northwest,
Oh, hell yeah, we got Big Josh.
5 pounds, Big Josh.
Big Josh with his axe handle. You know, a lumberjack that doesn't use an actual axe. Greg Sawyer. Hey, Dr. Liam, you would know.
I think it's something just to stay clean with Hansen. But here's a man, big
Yeah, he does.
shot,
Scotland does look like an Armenian drug dealer when he ring announces. It's a good look.
Porsche, beautiful deaf mute to keep you company.
Let me put it this way. Matt Bourne was a big enough piece of shit that they cut stuff out of his dark side of the ring to make him look better.
Well, there's no question that in his short period of time in World Championship Wrestling, to say
Like,
that
there's
Josh
a
has made name
whole,
for
like,
himself with the
domestic
fans, would be
abuse
an
arrest.
understatement.
They just don't
Big Josh
acknowledge.
certainly
Because
is
they're
a
like,
man
this
who
is too sad.
Very jovial, very easy to get along
Yeah,
with. but when
Big
you get
Josh was in the
mad,
WWF
he's
right
really
after
hard
this.
to
He was
handle.
the original
Well,
Boink.
he's definitely a big, tough guy. And if you noticed earlier, he had the
Yeah, Zach, they lied. They lied about all the big stars in WCW being on this show.
Fans want to remind you that July 3rd begins our Great American Bash on tour through the months of July and August. It will open up at the Meadowlands Arena in Rutherford, New Jersey.
That's
on July
fantastic,
3rd. And of course,
Reverend.
our next big pay-per-view is the Great American Bash, Sunday, July 14th, emanating from the home of the Bash, the Baltimore Arena. And we're going to be having, starting next week, our Great American Bash Control Center updates for you each and every week right here on Channel 9.
Yeah, Matt
So
Bourne
get
was in
ready for the
WrestleMania
summer, as
1.
I know you're ready for the
Wrestled
Super
on them
Summer
loose-ass
Super Tour.
ropes.
Coming to Chicago, June 22nd.
All the stars are here. Why, that's Adrian Bird walking
Likes to
by.
brawl, likes to hit
Yeah, I was watching.
Dave
He tried a couple
Burkhead.
wrestling moves. Said no, I think I'll do it this way, and just elbowed this man. Now chopped him.
Big Josh is Matt Bourne,
Look at
yes.
his eyes. Always look at the man's eyes, Shivani.
We weren't supposed to know that he was a wrestler.
Right now, the eyes of Greg Sawyer are
Tommy Rich's
pretty much
hunting
showing
buddy.
blank. There's a wrestling move right there, too,
There's
Larry.
a little wrist lock he's got on the man here. Arm bar, using the leverage.
Looking down closely as you take a good look at that.
One of
and
the basic mistakes he's making here is he's got the wrist lock on backwards.
Burt Curtis, yeah.
So the palm
Yeah.
goes towards the inside
I
of
saw
the wrist.
somebody
That's
3D
like
printed a
snapping
Born
wrist, then
Again
you get the other
figure,
way.
and it looked
little
amazing.
education there from the legend himself, Larry Zbyszko, and a left hand sends him down. Nothing wrong with that
So
one.
much for the wrist lock. Let's just punch him out.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Into
punch
the
him
ropes, Big
out.
Josh.
Oh, jeez. That was a good elbow.
All right, you call it.
Northern Exposure. Get it? It's his butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner, Big Josh.
Yes.
Big Josh.
You can't criticize Cecil too much when we're discussing punching out children. Uphold kayfabe. Terry Taylor as well, as Brian reminds us.
Just give him that double axe handle and let him scream.
Okay, so
Off he goes, Tony.
when I was a kid, people would always refer to the butt as north and the crotch as south.
When we come back, we'll take our second look at the Desperados, but right now,
Yeah.
here's WCW This Week.
They're trying to find Stan Hansen, who was just in 2 segments.
Remember a few months ago I talked to you about beautiful Bobby? Now, I'm not the world's greatest judge of
No.
athletic talent, but this is one time I was right. Sure enough, he has become the world's television champion. And in so doing, of course, he now has a chance to go on to even greater heights and go after Ric Flair, the Nature Boy's world heavyweight title.
Oh, he's just blatantly
It's
reading.
a match that has been greatly anticipated and I'm sure will take place very soon. Both men are two of the best
I think they'd
conditioned
already
athletes
announced
I
it.
think I ever saw in my life, and I mean superbly conditioned men. Good
They
luck to
literally
Bobby.
had to write
Good luck
this so
to
that he
Rick.
would stop talking about
Great
dead
combination.
wrestlers.
In the ring, they're going to be an even greater one because both men are considered pretty evenly matched. Bobby's from Huntsville,
I've
Alabama.
never seen someone
and
more
Rick is from
blatantly
Charlotte, North
read his
Carolina.
copy.
So not only is the world heavyweight title going to be at stake here, but also the bragging rights from the Deep South. And down south the Mason-Dixon line, that's important. And this is a Brickhouse bonus.
What the fuck? Like, WCW's trying to be presented as, like, an everywhere company, like a nationwide, worldwide company. And Jack Brickhouse is like, yeah, we'll see who the best wrestler of the Deep South is.
Look at the newest entry in World Championship Wrestling, the Desperados.
Yeah, I think they literally put Jack
excitement has been
Brickhouse's
running rampant.
script
You wanna
on the
see
floor.
more? So do I. Here they are again.
Now that I've talked about Beautiful Bobby, let's talk about Pampiro Firpo, young man. They should have gotten Jack Brickhouse to be an old cowboy in one of these segments. God, they spent so much money. And they didn't even ask Stan Hansen's permission before they started filming these. That would be a great bit, is if they did one of those Bandito promos, and he's like knocking dudes out of saloons, and then Dutch Mantel pops up. Hey, has anyone seen Stan Hansen? This might have been Brian. There's not that many of these in America. I think this set probably costs more, because this is like a space that has to be. You can't just set this place up and then tear it down. There's gold in them hills. This is so long.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They're trying to trick old men into watching wrestling by making them think that this is a John Wayne movie.
of World Championship Wrestling, Theodore R. Long. Total combined weight, 627 pounds.
What the hell?
The Angel of Death. And his partner from Odessa, Florida.
Ron Simmons, Junkyard Dog, Big Josh, Steve Thompson, Doug Vines, any other wrestler I can think of.
Both from Tennessee, the team of Pete Hart and Larry Santo.
El Santo, Larry Santo, and Keith Hart, an all-time great enhancement wrestler. I love Keith Hart because he's great at taking lumps, but he also looks like he's so confused as to what he's been hired to do. Dan Spivey and Angel of Death both have good crazy eyes.
Well, very intriguing, and they certainly have generated within the last 2 weeks a lot of excitement in World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, Angel of Death was a black squirrel. He just threw Keith Hart into, I believe it's Mike Atkins. Angel of Death was a Texas guy. He did a lot of stuff with the Freebirds and World Class.
The Angel of Death now.
He came up the same. Oh my gosh. Red Bastien trained him in the same class as Sting in like '85 in California. He has a really funny voice.
Danger stands 5. He and the Angel of Death are
This is like the only like big national. Oh my God!
I've never seen that.
He did that move that like a bunch of indie guys do, where you toss the guy up and then knock him out with the forearm. Dan Spivey invented that. Also, just randomly doing a crucifix bomb and then going to the next spot. Yeah, Angel of Death did do global. Yes, plays the bugle as we saw last year on Off the Grid.
He's got those eyes we talked about earlier, Tony.
Texas Championship Wrestling.
You know, I can't help to think now as we take a look at the Angel of Death.
Yeah, I think he was working with PN News, got hurt, left WCW, and if you remember one of the early Off the Grids, we watched that Bodyguards versus Bandits pay-per-view. He was the commentator. He was the color guy. Supposed to wrestle Kerry Von Erich the day that Kerry died.
Make their way to World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, Angel of Death, not only was he a Black Scorpion, like there were strong rumors he was going to be the guy they unmasked as Black Scorpion. Because a lot of the clues actually did match up to him. I don't know what that was. No, Bill Watts was in charge of WCW. He got the power about 2 years after this. He does look like Gary Hart, a lot like Gary Hart. I'm surprised that was never a thing. Oh my gosh. He Rhea Ripley's him for the win.
Here are your winners, the team of the Angel of Death and Dangerous Dan Spivey.
No doubt, Teddy Long really has these two geared up.
Now you take a look at the
tag team title.
I love that Angel of Death was cutting a promo into the camera, and Teddy's like, actually, I'll do the promo. Just interrupts his own guy.
Haven't seen one of those except now. Right again here, power bomb. Watch the eyes of Dan Spivey. I mean, 1, 2, 3.
This song is insane. It's just samples of various noises.
The Angel of Death and Dangerous Dan Spivey. And we'll go back to Comiskey Park after this timeout.
Okay, we're back here on Channel 9.
I think he would have been great.
Larry Zbyszko. You know, Larry, there's to me nothing
as the
like
guy
being
that
in the
Dan
baseball park.
Spivey
Of
beat
course,
up,
being a
he would have been great.
baseball announcer for many years, I feel like I'm back home in many ways. But you didn't have much to say with Mr. Reinsdorf out here.
We are at a baseball park, and I didn't want to miss out on that free watered-down soda and those ballpark hot dogs. God knows what they're made of. And
God, Larry's such a
popcorn
grump.
is unbelievably salted.
Speaking of unbelievable, this guy is unbelievable. Fans, we're going to go to action. We'll have Jerry Reinsdorf back with us in
Like
just
the
a few
best
moments.
part is he's shitting all over the White Sox, and it's not like there's a bit at the end, I bet, where like a baseball player hits him or something. He just gets to shit all over baseball when they're supposed to be promoting it. Hey, there's Rip Rogers, noted YouTube podcaster who films himself for his podcast with his phone right here.
As we are back in ringside in the arena, Tony Schiavone, Larry Zbyszko, beautiful Bobby, this week on Nationwide TV, has a chance to go after Ric Flair in the world title, Larry.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely Larry Zbyszko. It's Zbyszko season. He must have been so awful to share a locker room with.
Rip Rogers trying to take a long shot.
Rip hasn't taught at OVW probably 10 years.
And Bobby was away. He caught him coming in midair.
Last year, he posted his actual phone number on the internet to try to get Tony Khan to hire him. Like, he wrote his phone number, his, like, real name, and a message that said, "Hey, Tony Khan, call me. I think I would be great working for AEW." And then took a picture of the piece of paper and posted it on Facebook. I don't know what he wanted. I assume he thought he could train people for a school that AEW doesn't have.
One of the top contenders to the WCW World Title, and Ric Flair can. Oh, wow! Look across the ring from him.
I bet not only is Larry Zbyszko an airplane pooper, but he's also an airplane pooper where he'll come out and be like, "Boy, who did that?" I mean, there's the Nightmare the Nightmare Factory, but they're not hiring people to train there. That's Cody and QT's building.
Into the turnbuckle to the close left corner. Hip toss, beautiful Bobby down. Bobby is really hurting now. He is in major trouble.
Did he say Bobby is really horny now?
Going for that suplex.
Pick up.
I think he said hurting, but that's not what it sounded like.
Rogers measures him for an elbow. That's right.
That would be a great gimmick if during the heat a guy just gets like a boner. He's getting really horny now.
Point of Rip Rogers' career if he snatches a 1-2-3 on Eaton. Would it be Rip Rogers going against Ric Flair?
Well, that's a good point.
I haven't seen Nick Patrick tonight. That's very rare.
Double axe handle
Yeah,
blow.
that's Brian. You nailed it.
As Rogers is
And true, John Cena did the boner spot. Very happy about it. All right, this week in history, thanks to Stephen J. Neptune Man Jr., May 8th, 91. The White Sox, who we see mentioned all over the show, beat the Royals on the baseball field, and the Yankees beat the Rangers, rather. Number 1 movie in America, City Slickers. Number 1 song in America, Gary Sharon and the Boys. More Than Words by Extreme. Thank you so much, Stephen J. Neptune Man, as always.
I hate to be Rip Rogers.
Spinning neck breaker. Look how he came down.
I love that Rip always shits on people for doing too much. And he's taking spinning neck breakers on the floor during a 2-minute squash match.
Well, you can better believe Bobby's going to be part of the Great American Bash on tour, and our fans nationwide will be able to see him live and in person wherever we come with the Great American Bash on tour this summer, beginning July 3rd. Now about top, beautiful Bobby. Ready.
Doing stuff didn't work for me. Don't end up like me. There we go.
He was up there.
Okay, that didn't work. I love Bobby Eaton. That was the phoniest shit I've ever seen. The punches were this far away from Rip's face. Rip didn't sell any of them. Yes, that's Rip Rogers, Stephen J. Neptune Man. Yeah, he opened the match with a dive.
Beautiful Bobby in action with our Brute of the Week.
He did that shit.
Using the ropes, and down comes Rip Rogers, right on top of the rope. The World Television Champion, beautiful Bobby, with another tremendous win, and of course, noted for the high-flying maneuvers. Let's take a look once again as he comes off the top and all the way right down on Rip Rogers. Beautiful Bobby.
Yeah, Stephen J. Neptune, or yeah, it goes to Burt Prentice. I don't know why I said that.
Put it on.
Brute of the Week.
It was 1 week ago, fans, if you'll recall, we took a look at some very exclusive footage.
I don't think that was a tremendous
the ring and attacked Barry
necessarily.
Windham. Well, since that time, Barry Windham says he knows who the man in the chicken suit
This
is.
is shot like Tony Schiavone has a
sure
YouTube channel.
We're going to take a look once again at it just a couple of weeks ago on Nationwide TV.
Like Tony Schiavone
when Barry
doing
Windham was wrestling. And the chicken who we all thought was
like video
a WCW
essays
mascot at that time came into the ring.
about
Let's take a look once again
Brian
at what
Pillman being a chicken.
Hey, wait a second now. He's on the apron for crying out loud. Someone's got to get him down. We got to get Doug Dillinger out here. Oh,
Yep, that's the one thing about the Tommy Dreamer thing, is you kind of figured out, you got to figure out which old wrestlers have shithead brain. Hey, just because Tommy Dreamer wanted to touch that girl inappropriately in a wrestling match, listen, one time he got me a booking, so he's nice. Yes, that was Disco, was claiming that Tommy was right for assaulting those women because they were no-names. Doinked, with all due respect, Al Snow does not sound reasonable. Al Snow's one of the bigger fucking idiots of all of them. I cannot disagree with you more there, my friend. Yeah, Bully tried to change it to, I'm working you all. I'm working. I'll put you over, Josh Barnett.
Something else happened to Barry Windham, but
Bully trying to change the news cycle. So, Tommy can come back on their little radio show.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner.
Yeah, Al Snow, the same guy that I believe was Abaddon, did a seminar of his, and he was like, it would be a better match if you did a dildo and a pole match. Ooh. Yeah, it was so nice of last week's episode to give them this footage.
He's got the boot. He's got Wyndham's boot.
I don't know what to say.
And he's gone.
Well, who's gone?
The monkey's gone.
The monkey's gone.
What's he doing in there?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your TV main event.
God, Al Snow's
A
the
special
fucking worst.
8-man tag team contest. It is set for one fall, and because of the enormity of this contest, 2 referees have
Wow,
been assigned.
Gorilla Monsoon
Introducing first,
is over in New
team
York.
number
Like,
one,
see, Vinny? We could have been doing this the whole time.
Kevin Sullivan from Halsted Street, Chicago, Illinois.
God, why is that so horny?
Man Gang. From team
Those goth women in the front row are so into one-man gang and Kevin Sullivan having a consensual kink relationship.
ladies and gentlemen, from team number 1, from Sweetwater, Texas.
Wait, why did one guy come out from the heel team, one from the babyface team? This is the weirdest way to do this.
Number 2, Atlanta, Georgia, 218 pounds.
Why are they doing this way?
Representing team number 1 from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Why? Ric Flair just comes out randomly in the middle. He's the world champion.
Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Like, this is a hell of a lineup.
From Argentina,
But I'm just baffled. Elegante just, he comes out with Bill Alfonso. Because he needed someone to walk him to the ring. That's a good point, Brian. One-man gang contractually should not be allowed in a tag team. That makes him a liar. One of the guys was taking a dump, so they had to improvise.
Watch out! He was leveled by Koloff out of the gate. Right on top of the head. He's got the chain.
Oh my gosh. I think they do this in Lucha. Yeah, that spot was why they did it, but they could have explained, they could have gotten like to that spot in 8 other ways. They could have said like, hey, Nikita didn't show up. Or like, they could have just had Nikita go back and go and like hide behind the curtain or whatever. They didn't have to do the weirdest possible way to get to that. Hey, Doug Sword or Jeff Sword or whoever is back out here. Don't fuck with Jeff Sword. Also, somehow only 3 of the 8 guys are left. Sting got jumped, but everybody else is down.
Finally, the wrestlers have pulled Koloff off of Sting, but someone needs to help.
The wrestlers pulled Koloff away and just they're just walking past Sting. He's like, oh, my ribs, they're broken. And the rest, fuck you, dude. They just told me to get Nikita out of here. Just Craig Polax and Jeff Sword. Yes.
I have no idea what's happened. They've taken now Sting back to the dressing room. They've helped him back.
So somehow we ended up with a 3-on-2. Even though only one of the 8 men were taken out.
Barry Windham makes a tag. Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Yeah, let's have Elegante, the biggest man to ever live, stand right in front of Hard Cam. So we just cannot see what's happening. We do not know if he has partners. Randy Anderson is on the second rope with Brian Pillman. Just completely eating up all the space. I love the women doing the Arsenio Hall. That's great. That should not be allowed. This is some Airbud shit. Just because they didn't technically put it in the rules that Pianus could just walk out during a match and join. Could you imagine taking a snap suplex from a guy that is 8 feet tall?
You can hear the fan. Oh my goodness, we've got ourselves a battle of giants here.
These people are losing their shit for Elegante. He doesn't know how to lock up, so One Man Gang had to improvise and be like, okay, you're choking me.
Up on the apron. One Man Gang from Hallstead Street right here in Chicago. Pounding away, going to the eyes of Elegante.
Yeah, what if this was the only Sting match of the night? Did Elegante just tried to do a sick kick? The Roderick Strong move. Yeah, One Man Gang had one set of gear ever. And when he lost too much weight to wear it, he just told the WWF, hey, I can't do that. Or no, it was Akeem. He told them he got too thin to be Akeem. He didn't just buy a new blue shirt. He's like, yeah, I don't weigh 400 pounds anymore. Can I just be One Man Gang? The One Main Gang. That would have been great.
Fans are standing all around the arena here in what has become an electric 8-man tag on 10 or 9. Flair hits the far
A little bit of an exaggeration. Also, I love that everyone else is getting pushed, and then there's Tommy Rich. Dude, I saw last night at the Ring of Honor tapings, they taped Satnam Singh against this new named Bruce Hamilton. He's like this Midwest dude that I've seen a couple of times around here. He's like, say maybe 5'8", 5'9", like kind of a short guy, but he's built like little Scott Norton. Like, he's so thick and broad. He looks like an old-timey strongman. Like, there's a picture of him standing next to Satnam. Satnam's 2 feet taller. They are just as wide as each other. And I'm so excited to see that match.
into the corner, and you're looking right at pounding away though on Tommy Rich, and Tommy Rich, after the sleeper hold, is in immediate trouble here.
Hey, that's his actual finish.
That could be it for Tommy Rich.
That's Wilson.
Well, it could have been Koloff. Maybe made a mistake and didn't go for the pin. Well, he went for another signal.
Satnam Singh should be the world champion. I love Satnam Singh. Hey, it's Sting. He wasn't even bleeding. Why does he have tape? Back then, that's how they handled concussions. Hey, you have a bruise on your brain. Let me just wrap that. Make sure it doesn't get out of place. Yeah, why was PN News out there? Sting was perfectly fine, apparently. WCW Dr. Chuck Tache. It's like, okay, we gotta tape your brain into place. They brawl back into the darkness yet again. That's such a good gimmick, that they keep brawling into the darkest places and then just lose each other. Yeah, Sting just got DQ'd for running into his own match. Yes, I'm sorry Sting beat you too at Cecil. WCW always did stuff first.
With the One-Man Gang, there'll be a Russian chain match featuring Lex Luger against the Russian.
Yeah, I don't know who Rick Flair is. Rick Flair.
Brian will team up with Sting to try to put down Barry Windham and his partner.
Put him down?
Don't forget about the main event.
Also, Brian, wasn't he technically not allowed to wrestle at this point? Because he was like the loser of a loser leaves town match. Hence why he had to be a chicken and a monkey and stuff. I don't know. No, Dr. Liam, that announcer is from CNN. Dan Earl Jones.
This program has been brought to you by Brute.
I would love to see one of those Ric Flair Elegante matches. I bet they were fun.
Following contest, it is set for one fall.
Yes, see, that's the dead-on comparison. Hey, it's Dustin Rhodes. Got Brian Pillman in a telephone booth in the locker room. ringing up his buddy Dave. Motherfucker.
His opponent from Northport, Florida.
Oh, hey, it's Bob Cook, the man. Venerable Wright, not Jones. See, I keep thinking it's one or I keep flip-flopping. I keep thinking Venerable Wright is the I keep thinking of the State Patrol guy.
A brouhaha. Get away from me. You know, Dustin
It was James Earl Wright.
Yeah, every time we saw him here over the last couple
And when I
months,
think of that, I'm like, oh, I'm wrong. It's got to be
got to stay
Jones.
aggressive
No, it's
from
right.
the beginning. Oh, good shot.
Yeah, Van Earl Wright was an actual broadcaster with like a respected job. I love the colors that Bob Cook is wearing here.
He's a young man who wrestles like a veteran, and we've talked about that.
Just commitment to having the ugliest possible singlet. James Earl Jones did this as CNN. I know James Earl. I'm just mixing everybody up. Come on. Baby faces shouldn't be afraid to just scream at the audience.
Drop kicks. Well, he's got the right name. He's got
I need to hit up Van Earl Wright. Get him to take over my job as the narrator of my shorts.
Time will spell the fate of Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes, the natural. Fans want to remind you, we'll be coming right back here to Chicago, the UIC Pavilion, in 2 weeks.
Like Bob Cook's gear looks like it was just sitting in a box in the locker room. Like he didn't have his own ring gear. Exactly, yes. That's how Dustin's been. He's always been time disposed.
So much going on this week in World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, 2022, 2026, Dustin, doing Canadian Destroyers and letting Kyle Fletcher stab him in the knee pad with skewers.
Hey, he's an intense young man. He's got the right strategy. Hit that wrestling move, bam, grab a hold. Look at the way he's got the
Yeah, Bob Cook's gear is just in the ring truck. He's like, okay, that'll work.
There's the kick in the face type of pressure.
A curious case of Benjamin Dustin.
One of his many moves to the natural. Calling out of the
going for it from behind.
Here it is, the Bulldog.
Bulldog, baby. Too many people steal the Scotty Too Hottie version. Yeah. Eric Watts stole that. Spoiler alert, I have an Eric Watts deep cut coming tomorrow. That is even dumber than the one I did where I covered the story where he claims that the Hardy Boys stole his look.
And for insurance, hook that leg and put the weight on those shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, the natural, Dustin Rhodes on Chicago's very own.
Van Earl Wright's last TV job was working for the Lingerie Football League. Fantastic.
Tony Schiavone, Larry Zbyszko, Mr. Jerry Reinsdorf with us.
Jerry Reinsdorf looks like he's doing a
Talk about the
make-a-wish.
White Sox. They won 94 games last year, but still a very young team. And of course, with the American League West this year, it looks like the White Sox are going to do very, very well.
Well, I think it's going to be a very
You can't talk to
division.
Dustin about Black
Last year,
Rain.
Oakland won 104 games.
He
I think
blocks
94,
people
95
on
games will
social
win the
media
division this year.
who
It's gonna be
ask him
very,
about
very
Black Rain because he
close
thinks they're
teams are
making
very
fun
well
of him.
balanced.
Larry, something you wanted to add here?
Well, I just remembered my first wrestling coach used to always tell me at wrestling practice, baseball is such a tough sport that you could play 2 games in the same day, whereas I can't wrestle 2 matches in the same day. Just a comment. No big deal.
Thank you, Larry. And fans, we want to remind you,
Is that
as
right,
always,
Larry?
we'll be back each and every week. Mr. Reinsdorf, thank you very much, and best of luck to the White Sox the entire year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's
Yeah, I
good to see you.
love
Yes, sir. Okay,
baseball
fans,
talk and
we'll be back
wrestling.
next week on Chicago's very own Channel 9 for Larry Zbyszko and Jerry
All right,
Reinsdorf.
so
I'm
before
Tony
we go to the
Schiavone.
final
See you next week.
episode, no Off the Grid on Sunday due to AEW having a pay-per-view and my son wanting to watch it with me. So I'll be back next Tuesday for WCW Deep Cuts Live. Stick with me. I'll be back for another episode of WCW Pro Chicago. But I just want to show you guys what we're watching next week.
I want you to take one look at Lex Luger. Look at that face. Look at that body. Isn't he wonderful?
All right, so that's next Tuesday.
I'm presently bored from competing in WCW, following the aftermath
I'm presently barred from competing in WCW,
What happened
but
wasn't fair.
they're advertising me
But
for
in
this
life,
house
not too
show.
many things are fair. I'm just here to take the
Just
time to thank
because.
the fans of WCW.
Yeah, next Tuesday we're going
So
back to
good me,
1989
enable me to reach
for
some
some
of my
Power
goals.
Hour.
I'm presently trying to get back in. Remember something, Mr. Wyndham. Goodbye.
Mr. Wyndham. Why did that sound like he was breaking up with Barry Windham? Let me tell you something, Mr. Wyndham. If you sandbag me in the ring, I'm gonna call my friend Dave to bury you. Boom, boom.
This program is brought to you by
Great camera
Intel
angle,
Marketing,
just
introducing
shooting
the
half
Stomp
the
Collection,
ring.
Official trading cards of World Championship Wrestling.
Stomp Collection, very underrated setup. Why are they at
Saturday morning
bowling?
from Libertyville Lanes, Libertyville at Route 176 in Bradley, right outside of Chicago. And we're
This
here
would be a great
because
Not
of
Quite
the
Wrestling
legend himself, Larry
crossover
Zbyszko.
if
know
we got
what type of wrestler he is,
Tony
one of the
Schiavone
greatest athletes
hosting a
ever, but let's talk
bowling
about your
show.
This is a ladies' ball, but no, I know you can handle this one, so
You know,
we'll
you're
try that
Tony
later.
Schiavone dressed like he's an angel on a
Well, I have
sitcom.
the highest 300 game ever scored at Libertyville Lanes. So
Of course, Larry's a bowler.
Okay, so what about
Like, it makes too much sense that Larry
Well,
Zbyszko
bowling.
loves to bowl.
People, the Spudheads, have a hard time relating to me. I'm very intimidating. It's that charisma, the reputation, whatever.
But hey,
Bowling
Larry showed up
is
sober.
life at its simplest. Simple things for simple minds. When they see me and you and bowling, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Well, why don't you show us how good you really are?
Why? You see that? 300. That's how good I am.
We'll have to do it a little bit
Why
later.
did he
Right
bowl
now,
an
let's go to
entire
the ring.
game before the show started?
The following tag team event, it is set for one fall.
Here come the Steiner brothers. Someone will die.
Detroit, Michigan.
Did they wrestle Tony Schiavone? That's why he's dead.
525 pounds. They are the WCW World Tag
Yeah,
Team
Tony on
Champions.
Bowling for Dollars would be
Rick
great.
Steiner, Scott Steiner,
The highest 300 game ever.
brothers. Their opponents
He bowled an
are
extra
5
frame.
595 pounds from the Catskill Mountains.
Hacksaw Higgins. Hey, we haven't seen him in a while. I love Hacksaw Higgins. Just a big boy. And Mike Thor looking like if Buddy Lee Parker was Sting.
And we're going to be going back to Libertyville Lanes very soon, Larry, to see about your game or so. But before we do
Hacksaw Higgins was
right
like
outside of Chicago,
a guy,
we're gonna talk about some
like
great
a
events
low level
coming up
guy in
this
a lot of
week. And of course,
territories.
as we saw at the top of the
But
program, Flying Brian,
he was a
who
guy.
lost that,
And then WCW only used him as an enhancement guy, which is crazy because he's bigger than like all the pushed guys.
So goes the end of a career of a great athlete in World Championship Wrestling. Of course, he started off our hour with his
Yeah,
farewell
I guarantee you,
speech.
Scott would
I know, he better pass me some
would
tissues.
look at like a lineup of all the enhancement guys and be like, that one will be a challenge. Give me that fat guy over there.
For him, Tony. That's just the way it is.
Up high.
I believe, I don't have the calendar in front of me. I think you're right, DMP. And then the 12th will be Not Quite Wrestling, the members only stream. Zach says, Larry is the bowler that nearly died in an accident. Tony is the angel that helped him get to heaven. It's Larry Land Lanes, Tuesday at 6:05 p.m. on TBS. Oh, God, that would have been better if he dropped him on his head.
Back of his head, shot hard on the mat. Scotty Steiner in.
Yeah, some of those Ryback job guys were like
In WCW,
practical
it's
jokes.
almost like the Steiners by themselves. However, there is now the team of Dangerous Dan Spivey and the Angel of Death. who we
Oh,
saw
God.
Last week, managed by Teddy Long, looking pretty awesome.
They're an
Oh,
awesome team, but the Steiners, boy, they're just everywhere.
I love how Scott picked him up like, oh, am I going to drop you on your head? Oh, I was just fucking with you.
It's almost like they're inside each other's heads, and there's plenty of room for each other in there because they don't have.
Rick just elbowed the dude's hand.
And the Great American Bash will be held exclusively on pay-per-view Sunday, the 14th of July. And we will have our first Great American Bash.
I love that Thor tried raking his eye. Ooh. And Rick's like, I'm not going to sell for that.
Big announcement about the main event coming up on July 14th. Will be coming up a little bit later on. Here's the belly to belly.
Damn, look at the height he got on that suplex.
Considering how big the guy is,
That's hilarious, Cecil, because a lot of Ryback's opponents were tiny.
That's not going to hand them all the credit for that. They are two super.
Oh, that was a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Like, you could tell Scott was like, fuck yeah, that was a good bump. Yeah, John Silver was a Ryback opponent.
Steiners with another awesome win here on Chicago's very own Channel 9.
Zbyszko Justice.
I tell you, they truly are like the two.
Yeah, so like Mike Thor and Hacksaw Higgins were like enhancement guys that were there a lot. And normally if they wrestled frequent flyers, Scott would not hurt them. But yeah, you could tell Scott loved the way that Mike Thor bumped for that. He was like, fuck yeah!
World Championship Wrestling presents Super Summer Sizzler.
Like that one time that DDP wrestled Eddie Guerrero, that gif that always goes around where DDP like does the power bomb and the diamond cutter. Like he marks out for his own move. Ric Flair. Yes, sir.
Also on the card, the Steiner brothers will try to put down Dangerous Dan Spivey and his partner, the Angel of Death. Ron Simmons will clash with the one-man gang. There'll be a Russian chain match.
Again, they wrote that like his last name Sullivan.
Nightmare Nikita Koloff. And in a tag elimination match, Brian Bryan will team up
Brian
with
Bryan is
Sting
banned
to
from
put down
wrestling
Barry
according to the
Windham's
first
partner,
minute
Arn
of this show.
Anderson. Don't forget about the main event. It's a world title no DQ match.
That's
featuring
awesome,
Ric
Cecil.
Flair against Elegante.
I think that should happen more
And it's all
often.
Saturday night, June 22nd, 8
Just
o'clock at the
sit there and be
Twice
like, dude, that was a
Chicago.
cool ass move you
Great
pulled
tickets
off.
available
High
at
five.
Ticketmaster Alice or Georgia Mike Oley, 559.
We have a lot of very good Larry Zbyszko pilot pitches in the chat tonight. Brian with another one. The famous Larry Z. I cannot imagine the creeps that called the live Missy Hyatt hotline. Oh, we did Bobby jump this guy. Is that Chuck Coates? It is Chuck Coates. Friend of the channel who recently passed away, Chuck Coates.
He downright Pearl Harbored the man. Didn't even take his ring.
Why did Bobby jump him?
That's a bad attitude.
Call it a bad attitude. Call it a Pearl Harbor if you'd like to.
Finger in the
What is Bobby's a baby face? He's in there like, I'm gonna rip out your eye. I'm gonna jump you from behind.
Yeah, definitely an offense, but it's not a good sportsmanlike offense.
Life, for crying out loud, you and good sportsmanship.
I mean, maybe the Chicago Bears could take a lesson so they can.
Okay, RBH looked it up. USC showed Drew. Oh, nasty backdrop. USC showed Drew 1250. The elimination tag ended up with Brian Pillman wrestling, even though he was banned from wrestling. And the faces went up 2-1, and then they got counted out, so the heel won. Fucking awesome.
That the next time he says something about pork chops, I'm coming in myself and going to feed him to him.
He didn't have the guts to show up the first time. What do you think he's going to show up the second time?
Well, he may.
Not that I want to eat those pork chops.
Where you at, Flair?
Where you at, Flair? That's so shitty. Hey, y'all, I'm going to be the main event babyface of Clash of the Champions. Rip the guy's eyeball out.
Of course, the former world television champion, but we have many great stars in World Championship Wrestling. What about the former champion, the Z-Man? What about
Ric Flair beat Elegante by countout in the no DQ match on that show. I love wrestling.
Moving into the York Foundation.
But he did take the contract that Alexandra York offered him. I was right there.
Because technically a countout is a kind of disqualification. If you get counted out, you're no longer qualified to win the match. So if there's no disqualification, there should be no countouts.
I heard him mutter something about Ric Flair in the ring. Now, this is what his temper and anger is geared for. Don't let it get to you, because Ric Flair will use that as a weapon and have Bob Eaton talking to himself over. Believe me.
Fans, by the way, if you just joined us,
we really needed to see Bobby Eaton beat the fuck out of Chuck Coates. Like a huge bully. So that we know that he's ready for Ric Flair.
And Therefore, Flying Brian was supposed to team up with Sting here in Chicago to go up against Barry Windham and Arn Anderson. We understand now that Sting's partner will be a man by the name, if I've got this right, this note just handed me by our producers, a man by the name of the Yellow Dog.
Okay, at least they're trying to make sense of it.
Team up, we'll team up next weekend here in Chicago. Look at that tremendous clothesline from the World TV Champion.
It does say Yellow Dog. I have no idea
That's
what that
hilarious.
It'll be at the UIC Pavilion next
Dan Spivey quit
Saturday
the company at that show because Scott Steiner couldn't work and he didn't want to lose to Tom Zink.
Beautiful Bobby, the World Television Champion.
I think this man's wrestling shirt has him hooked by Bobby. He just going to the top.
Tom Zink, everybody.
Last week.
Here he goes.
Oh.
On target. What he does here, Flair. He said it again. Ric Flair's on his mind. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your
I can't believe I understood what he was saying. Did they have Banner Jones voiceover Bobby Eaton? Like that episode of Quantum Leap that Scotland showed on the potluck? Where they had a dude voiceover Terry Funk?
My name is Paul E. Dangerously, and this is the Great American Bash Control Center.
My name is Paul E. Dangerously, and if you ask me, the WWF should be nominated for Emmys.
Sunday, July the 14th.
Hey, V. Revoluticon.
Due to his victory over the Great Muta on national television, the total package, Lex Luger, will receive a shot at the heavyweight championship.
No, he won't.
When he steps into a steel
At least not at Ric
with
Flair.
Nature Boy Ric Flair. Both are standing by with their comments.
It's the Great American Bash.
God, they styled him to look like such an old person.
Wrestling program of them all. And Lex Luger, you got the title shot. You will walk the aisle for the
And you
World
will eat my
Heavyweight
butt.
Championship. Remember one thing, Big Lex.
And that's the funny part, Cecil, is they're a television show, so yeah, they technically could be nominated for Emmys. But Paul's like, the Bloodline was so good. They were robbed. Roman was robbed for a Best Actor
The setting, the
Emmy.
Great American Bash, July 14th. The competitors,
Is he being
Ric Flair
blown?
And Lex Luger. The stakes, the World Heavyweight
This is a
title.
Val Venus
In the
promo.
Great American Bash on July 14th, in this vision, there is a new World
Yeah, did the
Heavyweight
guy that
Champion in the
wrote
Great American Bash,
Jack Brickhouse's
July 14th,
script
that becomes
glue
a
Lex's on the
reality.
ceiling?
There are many who believe that it's Lex Luger's destiny, that it's his legacy to become the
Ric
heavyweight
Flair,
champion of the world.
this
He will get that
Sunday,
opportunity
I
Sunday
will
night,
wrestle
July
you
14th
for
at
the
Great American
World
Bash
Championship.
against the legend, Nature Boy Ric Flair. The
Why is
only
his
way
grandma so
to see
mad?
this steel cage match is to call your local cable operator and say, I want the Great American Bash. Sunday night, July 14th.
If I yelled at the
Eastern
cable
time,
operator
I'll be
like
back
Paul is
next week
yelling,
with more matches at the Great American Bash.
they would cancel my cable plan.
Okay, back here at Libertyville Lanes, Phil Ryman, general manager, is with us. Phil, as you know, Larry's going to show us how he can shut
Now,
that
hey, here's the
300
guy
game
that
right
owns
here
the
at Libertyville
place.
You know what I think I do?
They were at Comiskey Park last week,
Phil.
and this week they're just at a bowling
Calling
alley.
it Larry Lanes. What do you think?
Well, Larry, I know you're a legend and everything, but I think we'd have to
Well,
talk
what do you
about
want for this
a
dump?
Dump?
Let's
You
just
shot your
talk about
300.
it.
Wait a minute, you're supposed to bowl here with us. We'll have to have it done a little bit later on. Right now, let's go to the ring.
Larry's gonna go chop it up with that guy, and by it I mean White Powder.
It is set for one fall. Introducing first from Motown.
Is this technically the fourth PN News match we've watched in the last 2 hours, if we count that 8-man?
Let me get my earplugs in place.
Now, let me tell you this. Don Cornelius
This is
wants him.
insane.
Dick Clark wants him. Shadow Stevens wants him on American Top 40. But World
A Shadow Stevens reference.
Have them and, excuse me, let me get this one more plug in.
Put your hands together.
Oh yeah, Larry, the whole drive there, I bet he's like, you know what'd be funny? Is if I said that I bowled more than 300, and then I just don't bowl. It'd be hilarious. It'd be great.
Everybody jams in, it'll be real sweet. Everybody say ho!
Oh, it's June.
You can't run and you can't hide. Cause I'm big,
Can't run and you can't hide.
I'm nationwide.
Oh, he finished the rhyme like he had to think of the end of the rhyme.
You say yo baby, yo baby, yo.
They call it freestyling, not fast styling.
And ladies and gentlemen, his
Oh, the kid's dad looks so embarrassed.
Mark Kyle.
Oh shit, it's Killer Kyle, who longtime Deep Cuts stream folks will remember I once accused of murder.
You can't deny his wrestling ability.
See, that would have been funny if Larry spent the hour being a shitty bowler. That would have been a funny
By the
punchline.
way this man moves, I've seen him do some suplexes, some good wrestling maneuvers. For a man this big, it's phenomenal, and if he can use that weight, he's a
Yeah, Mark
devastating
Kyle actually
wrestling
is looking
machine.
very smooth.
But please don't sing.
Oh.
I hate rap. It's like a rapper is someone who can't carry a
That's why he didn't do many big
Over the
boots.
top, the rap master PN News with a cartwheel.
Also, I love that he had to stop and step over the guy when he was running the ropes.
He really can. Of course, he's known nationwide as PN News, but of course at our offices in Atlanta, we like to just refer him as PNN, and there's the big slam.
PNN. Jokes. Yeah, Bobby Heenan would have done great. He would have let them film him bowling for hours.
Elbow drop, 400 plus pounds. PN News.
Zabisco's like, I'll just say words.
With a knee to the back of the neck. Now, shooting the man to the ropes.
Ugh. I thought Pia News was going to jump with him.
I think Mr. Kyle's still trying to find him after that cartwheel. It really threw him off. He didn't expect.
No, I think the fact that Pia News' ass fell on his head threw him off.
And my guy, here he comes. Get the plug.
He almost fell off the top rope. Zabisco and Heenan didn't really do stuff with each other like that. Yes, I did a short about Pia News and ECW.
This is our Western Union move of the week.
About how Paul just got bored with them and stopped sending him plane tickets after he moved back to Idaho.
Waiting for a backdrop, and the PN News just
All good, all good. My favorite part of Pia News' ECW run is when he came out in the arena with a Phillies jersey, and he wrote "sucks" all over it. So the jersey said like "Phillies sucks, 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 sucks."
Western Union, the fastest way to send money. Let's go to Jack Brickhouse in our Brickhouse.
Hell yeah! Who's he gonna kill this time?
Well, one of the real hallmarks of a great champion, a real solid pro, is the ability to keep coming in the face of adversity, and that's what
Like Luger was in that promo.
Luger. Lex keeps propelling himself into that picture. He's done it again with that win he had over the great Muta last week. So once again,
Jack has no
he's
idea
after
who these
another big
people
title.
are.
Now here's a guy who, of course, spent almost all of 1989 and 90
All
chasing
of
Ric Flair for Rick's championship.
1989.
Hasn't been able to catch him yet, but he's still after him. Of course, he was hospitalized for a little while with that mysterious virus, but came out of the hospital to do a super
What
job
virus?
and face Ric Flair, and didn't quite make it back in May of 1990.
He didn't quite make. He killed Lex Luger.
His time looks like it might be now. He's close to it.
R.I.P.
He's going to go after it, and the circumstances are set for a great bout.
I've seen children less
This
obviously
is a
reading.
Brickhouse bonus.
I'm here today to talk about Lex Lewis. Lex Lewis. He had a mysterious virus, and he died 3 years ago. And I would like to wish him luck as he challenges Ric Flair for the world title next week.
With the Freebirds, you got to be a happy man.
I'll tell you what, Larry Zabisco, I told the world that those young pistols were nothing but young punks, and that Super
God,
Bowl
there's
was the
so many
extravaganza wrestling show of all time.
STDs.
Fabulous Freebirds, Jimmy Jam Garbage.
But that is my
Michael
Yogi.
Bueller, Six of Hayes, now are the U.S. Tag Team Champions. It's all because of this man right here, my personal road boss, Big Daddy Dick. Tell him about it, Daddy.
Well, you know, Diamond
Big
Dallas, I
Daddy
like all the
Dick.
accolades you're laying on me right now.
That's
but
the
brother,
most
it's a
clothes
partnership
I
right
think
down the line, and
Oliver
we're both
Humperdinck
managing the
ever
US
wore
tag
on
team title holders
television.
right now, and they're going to be champions for a long time. I don't care
Big
who
Daddy
it is.
Dick.
Young Pistols, Steiner Brothers, line them up. We're going to go through them like a hot knife through butter, baby. And those U.S. titles are going to be around the Freebirds' waist until we want to dump them.
Everybody
You know
here
something?
is
There's no doubt in my mind
so
that the Freebirds deserve the
drunk.
titles, and there's no doubt in my mind that the Freebirds are going to be wearing them. Very good wiggling. are going to be wearing
Very
them
good
for a very
wiggling,
long time. But let me
you
ask
fucking
you a
creep.
question. Now, let me take my time in this and get this straight.
I don't think
because
that's
this is what
Kimberly, no.
everybody wants to know about Big Daddy Dink. Man called...
Could you imagine Harry Carey doing the Brickhouse bonus?
That bad, huh? That's a question on everybody's mind. Everybody wants to know about and I'm going to lay it out to you right now. The third bird everybody saw at Super Bowl. The man made a great appearance.
What is DDP doing
World.
this?
And as far as what his name is, what his background is, where he comes from, who he's working for, who's paying him, we are. But anything else you want to know about him,
Who's paying him?
we ain't saying a word. Bottom line is anybody who gets in the way of it's going to drop like a bad habit. Well, I can't blame him. And from the legend himself, it's hard to be humble when you're so great.
He almost forgot his
Join
catchphrase.
Nature Boy Ric Flair, the Total Package Lex Luger, Sting, and many other superstars of
God,
World
could you
Championship
imagine
Wrestling
going on a
for
Caribbean
once-in-a-lifetime
cruise
experience on the Bruise
with
Cruise.
all of these
Sail the SS
drugged
New
out
Amsterdam
freaks?
From Tampa, November 30th, and not only will you visit the exotic beaches off Key West, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and Ochos Rios, Jamaica, but you can be part of special WCW events.
The only way to make
including
wrestling more
events
carny
and photo and autograph
is to get
sessions.
travel
Make your
agents
Bruise Cruise
involved
reservations now.
and to
At
like
the time
rip
of your
fans
life
off with a shitty cruise. Yeah, we're going to all these places, we promise. We need a 200% deposit up front.
261 pounds, the natural Dustin Rhodes. His opponent from Nashville, Tennessee, 235 pounds,
Who is it?
Doug Gilbert.
Hey, dangerous Doug Gilbert. Podcaster. Cruise subject to change. We might have to pull some talent.
I had a chance, as everyone did, to hear you congratulate the Freebirds.
Dougie Gilbert.
Champions, of course,
He's gonna look into the camera and say, man, lunch the biscuit smoking.
Teamwork and the years of experience, the tough team to beat, they deserve congratulations. And,
He just took Doug Gilbert down by the penis. Y'all saw that. He grabbed Doug Gilbert's dick from behind and pushed him down.
And Mr. Brickhouse has to realize that I hadn't been around since the time of the Egyptians.
Doug Gilbert appears to have put a bowl on his head
I'm not going to
and cut his hair.
that comment. Up with
Dougie, I think, early 20s here.
By the way, a lot of talk about Fantasia. We'll try to talk more about the third Freebird.
I love that the DDP's like, we won't not tell you what that guy's name is. Won't tell you anything about him. And then the very next segment, Tony's like, well, his name's Fantasia.
You got to keep on him because that's his nature. It's been aggressive. It's been aggressive since we saw him on WCW.
What is Alfonso doing?
That at a young age,
hey guys,
21 years of age, he wrestled with a tremendous amount of confidence.
Well, 21 years of age, but you got to realize, who raised him. He's been wrestling since probably a teenager, maybe even before that. I started wrestling when I was 8 years old.
8 years old?
I've been wrestling for a quarter of a century. Why do you think I'm
what a creep. You're a What is Dustin doing? Oh yeah.
Now we know, right to the face.
I'm the best of the best.
The Percy Watson.
And with a wrist lock now, Dustin pulls it right behind.
Yeah, Elegante's sitting at the curtain, like when you leave a dog home alone and they just sit at the door staring at it. When will Fonzie come back? Yeah, that has to be. This is like match 47 on an 8-hour taping. Fonzie's doing shit to pop himself.
Dustin Rhodes, the natural. Going up and
Wee.
He hit him with a bulldog, and he's got a 3 count.
They did not give Bill Alfonso any room to count.
The story of the Desperados and their arrival to World Championship Wrestling continues.
Yeah.
When we come back, stay right where you are. Back with you on WCW.
So we're going to about 15 after the top of the hour. So thank you guys for staying up late with me. Much appreciated.
At the Desperados. And then just last week, the saga continued with the Desperados when these three men, our newest entries in World Championship Wrestling,
our newest
came
entries.
into town. And we've had
like they were
cards and letters.
drafted.
People want to take a look once again at what happened just last week right here on WCW Pro Chicago. But let's take a look at the videotape one more time.
I don't want to watch it, so we're going to skip it. Executive decision. The promo is way too
World
long.
Championship Wrestling.
But now let's join him once again as this true life Western saga
True
continues
life.
here on
This is
WCW
real. This is
Pro
a
Chicago.
shoot. Deadeye Dick is like, I could have been Demolition.
Howdy, Marshal. Howdy, Marshal. How you doing?
And to think someday
Bart, you big
one of those
overbearing,
men would go
obtuse,
on
flappy-eared, knock-kneed
to
little
do
Marshal.
YouTube
Why don't you
face.
say hello to that, Sheriff? Why don't you say hello to it? Oh, hey, Dutch, you said hello.
I know, I'm no better anymore.
I said hello. You the one that said it. I said hello to it.
They should have, Brian.
I tell you what,
I should have sent this to you while you worked for Spike.
you know what that reason was? That was Stan Hansen.
Yeah, Global started in June.
Here getting the world championship.
And everyone's like, oh, Joe Pedicino will give us money.
Don't you know for 1 iota that they go together, hand in hand, so to speak? What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? No, I'm not.
Everybody wearing very big jackets.
I know it goes hand in hand. I ain't stupid, son, but let me say this. If my information is correct, the letter that Deadeye Dick got from Stan Hansen said
I would
he was going
love
be
to
right
read the
here
scripts
today. Right here
for these
today.
segments.
Was that yesterday? Tomorrow? Next week? When? I don't know when it is. I don't know when it is. You read the
I'm
letter?
telling you,
This is awful.
it's beautiful. It smells real good too. But I want to tell you something right now. That dadgum Deadeye Dick, he said, and all that stuff in that letter is all that stuff.
Yeah,
true.
the piano in the background really sells this as a real
You are to
thing.
getting into World Championship Wrestling. You know, just a matter of minutes, we could be meeting the toughest, the meanest, the nicest. He doesn't know about it. We're going to meet him in
Why does this thing need so many scenes? I think Dusty just got bored with wrestling and was like, let me write a cowboy movie.
We're in this great town, but there's one thing that bothers me a lot.
What's that, Bart?
Also, why is it taking them so damn long to walk down that road?
What? What happened? How did he get the dadgum letter? You know.
Stan Hansen wrote the letter.
Stan Hansen wrote the letter. But you know what? I ain't heard Deadeye Dick say one dadgum word in about 32 years.
I'm Bart? I thought I was
You
Norman.
know, he can't hear either. Deadeye Dick cannot
And
hear.
another thing, that patch. That
He's
dadgum
blind.
patch. Deadeye Dick blind in one eye. He can't hear and he can't see either. Now what are we gonna do?
And he was gonna
You
wrestle.
got me here under false pretense.
You got me here. We're looking for Hansen.
What do you mean we're looking here? I'll beat you in the middle of a next week, boy.
Every line of dialogue ends with, hit him with a hat,
Hey, do you hear me?
in brackets.
Let me tell you one thing, Smarty Pants. If you want to know the answer,
This could have been
to
30
this question,
seconds.
What you need to do directly, and I mean directly, is ask Deadeye Dick right
But
to
you
his
know
face.
that comes good and well. He can't see and he can't hear, and I ain't for sure that he can talk. He ain't said nothing in a
For
while.
those of you folks who did not see my short about these goobers, this goes nowhere.
Oh, it's your responsibility.
They get so much television time,
I'll tell you one thing,
and
he's
it
the meanest
doesn't
motherfucker
become a
in
thing.
this dadgum town. He can take anybody here, and if you don't quit hitting me with that dadgum hat, now we gotta go find him. Now I want you to help this time. You
better
could
go
help
find him before
watch
he
him,
hurts
because
somebody.
if you don't, I'm gonna have to do all the dadgum work like I always do.
Oh yeah, you know Dusty's just off camera, like, crying on the ground. Like, think about the Motor City Madman thing, is the vignette's like 3 minutes. This is going on, I think, 5. And there are 6 of these.
I don't understand why it's always my dadgum fault. He gets lost, but it's my fault, right?
Yeah, I think we could convince Jack Brickhouse this was real.
Hey, hey, he can't hear. What's wrong with you? Where's he been? He's been in that. Hey, he's been in that dadgum bar.
You've been in that bar. You've been in that saloon.
You've been in
ain't
that
you,
saloon.
This is Dusty's Deadwood.
Cleaned it up.
Read
You
my lips.
big
You cleaned
dummy,
it up.
come on. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Let's go find Stan Hansen.
Don't get lost no more. Come on.
Please.
How the fuck does it get weirder than that? This is definitely a 3 a.m. middle of the match Infinite Rumble gimmick. Yeah, the script was literally just yell some shit and hit each other with hats. Yeah, happy Pride to everybody involved in this. Ian Weston, whose claim to fame is that he once tried to fight Vader in a match.
It's apparent that they are searching for Stan Hansen, but I don't know.
Yeah, that shit. Not the hat hitting, the leather bondage mask from a man being submissive to a man on a leash aired at 9 a.m. Saturday mornings. Pitch the two-man gang to Uno, please.
I don't know. I don't know either.
But would the two-man gang still just be one guy?
Does not know that one.
Well, World Championship Wrestling. It's gonna be.
Is he? That was a titty twister, wasn't it? It's just a regular tag team. It's the two-man gang.
July, of course, on tour and our Great American Bash pay-per-view. What about the big announcement we heard? World title, the cage match. Because of his win over the Great Muta, Lex Luger's now vaulted to the #1 contender.
He vaulted.
And gets his shot at Nature Boy Ric Flair.
I would argue
Well,
Muta
it's kind
vaulted
of
in that
upsetting
match.
to me because I'm trying to maneuver myself into that position. Lex Luger, however, I mean, you can't deny the man an opportunity. He's a terrific athlete. He's been given 100,000% to his physical,
I miss big, fat, hairy guys who just go between moves.
It's going to be one test of a lifetime.
Two-man gang for 6-man tag champs. Yes.
For Lex Luger. Kevin Sullivan, on the other hand, could be the
Oh my God, Kevin Sullivan can see angels.
Pick up.
Christopher Lloyd's gonna sweep in and help Ian Weston win the match. Thank you, Corey, for the kind words and the plug.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner,
Oh my God, he's mounting the man. And Kevin is like, no. Bad sub.
He's the wild one-man gang.
How are you as bald as Kevin Sullivan and still have all of that hair sticking up?
It's definitely the influence of Kevin Sullivan, the one-man gang. I just saw it. He didn't know what to do.
Oh my God. That's fantastic, Cecil. I can hear that in my head.
Put that leather collar on and studs inside to put you up against that neck.
I'd like to borrow that mask for PN News.
All right, the one-man gang. This week is our fruit of the week.
Maybe I can match with one-man gang on field.
The one-man gang. He is not all there. Wow, look at this coming at you. Can you imagine that?
Evil
He just
Brown.
flattened this man. Kevin Sullivan sitting there. He's
Like, how much do you think Sullivan explained? Do you think he tried to hide it, or is he one of those BDSM guys that's like just gets real in the weeds about it and everybody wants him to shut up? The brute of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest.
Hell yeah. Okay, they get a Sting match.
Introducing first from Venice Beach, California, weighing 251 pounds.
Sting. That is Sting.
His opponent from Little Rock, Arkansas, 221 pounds, Tim Fry.
Sting me, baby.
Oh, hey, it's Johnny Acito. I love that. Sting's like, no, let me take off my jacket. See, when you hear that Sting has a kid that's wrestling now, that's what you imagine. The ring announcer is Gary Michael Capetta.
Well, he can't afford to be cool, Tony. You know, after what happened the last few weeks on Larry Z's.
Yeah, he is little Zip, not Zip or Skip. He is little Zip.
He can't relax. He can't afford to relax. Nikita Koloff is lurking.
Sting is just disappointed in the show, man. All right, lick the turnbuckle.
You gotta learn to mind your manners.
Look at that thing shaved in the back of that man's head.
Talking to his opponent, Tim Pride.
Definitely a change of attitude in the
Did you just call him Tim Pride? He's Tim Fry, but I think Shivani botched his name.
No doubt. After coming through the the gateway here, the curtain that goes back to the dressing room area, and being attacked by Nikita Koloff just last week.
I'm surprised he threw him back in the ring. He looked like he had that look in his eye like he just as soon smash him in the rail.
Like, this looks like Sting found a kid in the audience, dressed up like him, and was like, hey, you want to get your ass kicked? Mike Atkins does kind of look like the Petland guy.
I've lost my cool several times.
Definitely with the mustache. It's like the Sprite commercial where Sting beats up the kid, yes. Yeah.
Stinger flex.
Way up there.
Yeah, he totally needed to jump really high to splash Tim Pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the
Tim Fry Jr. for future Mystery Wrestling. And it's a literal child. It's a baby. That's the only way you get younger. Listen, Tim Fry. Fuck you.
Just do it face to face right now in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta give him credit. That's
And then Tim Fry jumps him again. What if Tim Fry is Darby's dad?
Let's get it done now. He's got the right idea.
Yeah, I'll hit up my guys. 2K, get Tim Fry in the game. These guys are making some real good cocaine eyes at each other. What the fuck? He and News and Elegante being some real dickheads here. All the baby faces are being assholes on this show. You're 7'7" and you have to attack a guy from behind. So many PN news segments. But yet somehow we've seen more Desperados. Yeah, Tim Fry runs out and beats up all these guys. Gets his heat back. Yeah, Sophie in EWR. She's alerting you. You might as well just fire PN News. It's a battle royal. Well, the funny part is they're not building up a battle royal. They just wanted to send a lot of guys out. So they pan over and Elegante is selling and no one is standing anywhere near him. I think he actually got something in his eye. And Nikita's like, come get me. There's no lights. You can't find me. Fuck you. Sting's being held back by big Tim Fry. See, a normal wrestling company, that would have been a setup for a bunch of lumberjack matches. This is WCW. That didn't happen. Yeah, let's send all 5 baby faces out to the ring for some real chaos. Ric Flair. Maybe Ric Flair quit because of this. Hey, Jim Herd, this guy keeps calling me Ric Flair. Yeah, 15 hours of back-to-back PNU's matches. They had to send everybody out to be like, hey, we have other wrestlers that work here. Oh my god, a Russian chain lumberjack match. We're tied together. But just to make sure nothing happens, we're gonna put people around the ring so you can't get out either. All Ticketmasters. If you're living in Tucson, you can get tickets to this show. Merchandise director sounds like a gimmick. The lumberjacks are also chained together.
This program has been brought to you
Got
by
Barry Windham closing us up
Essence of
for
Man.
the evening.
Come on, put it on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, it is set for one fall.
And the lumberjacks can also be chained to themselves, like the convict we watched on Off the Grid.
The perpetrator, the man behind, of course, the unfortunate unfortunate incident where Flying Brian was cast out of World Championship
We have
Wrestling.
ravished Rick
As we
Rude.
take a look at Rob Morgan, right hand from
Well,
Barry
Rob
Windham. By the
Morgan
way, we're
against
gonna be going
Barry
back to Libertyville
Windham.
Lanes just a moment, so Larry, give us some tips on bowling.
I'll give you the whole spiel here,
Yeah,
baby.
sure you will. Wait a second, what's Barry doing? Having some words.
No, the actual main event is Larry Zbyszko talking about bowling.
Is that who I think it is?
That's Flying Brian.
Hey, that chicken is dressed up like Brian Pillman.
Out of World Championship Wrestling, who has obviously purchased himself a ringside seat, and who
Yeah, you would hope so, Brian.
who cannot get involved, and it's got to be a real disappointing moment to see Barry Windham in the ring for this young man out of Cincinnati.
Well, I'm sure it is.
San
However,
Francisco
he
Crab.
lost fair and square. And if you're going to be a man among men, you got to stick to your word.
It's Rick
you
Rube.
leave town, you leave town. Well, what's he sitting at ringside for?
Real
In reality,
mark.
This is town, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not only to your word, a man of his word, it's now what's been dictated by
Hey, Brian, look at this. You can't wrestle anymore.
Not only is the man pouting, he's sitting there on
Yeah, was Brian the only guy that paid for a ticket? Like he's looking around. Hey, how'd you get in? Oh, they just gave this to me. Like the opposite of the planted hand? Oh, that kid is really talking some shit behind Brian Pillman's back. He does kind of look like Gary Young if Gary Young let himself go, which is a sad thing. Oh shit, we got pedophiles getting involved. Grizzly Smith's like, listen, don't get in there, or I'm gonna have to have sex with my daughter.
There's Flying Brian.
Okay, back at Libertyville Lanes, Larry's going to show us how to bowl. What kind of ball is that, anyway?
It's a bowling ball. Look it. Stand back, and I'm going to show
Doug
you
Dillinger was
fine
never
points of
convicted.
bowling.
Okay,
See
go
these
ahead.
dots?
I see the dots.
You start here. 4 steps.
What a
Off you go. Watch
compelling ending to a pro wrestling
Now,
show
wait a
this
minute.
is.
See those diamonds out there?
I see the diamonds.
Okay, you want to throw it over
Diamond
the diamond.
cutter.
Throw it over
Second
the
to
diamond. Okay, go ahead. Here we go.
Okay.
We're running out of time here.
Don't look at the pins. Watch the diamond.
Don't look at the
This
look at
is
the
not a
pins.
good
Watch
Watch
joke.
the diamond.
Such a bad joke.
See that line? You can't cross that. A buzzer goes off.
Don't want the buzzer to go off, do we?
If the buzzer goes off, everybody else gets really upset. Okay, ready?
We are ready.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait a minute.
Larry, we're out of time.
Too bad.
Fans, we'll see you next week right here on Channel 9.
God, I wish that joke would have
Come to the
worked.
matches to know Wyndham, to tell Wyndham that he wants to get back and look at Wyndham talk.
We're just replaying the last segment we watched.
Wait a minute. Flying Brian.
Get that creep off of me.
Leave town like a real man.
Oh, goodness. All right. That is it for the evening. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me the last 2 hours and 17 minutes for WCW Deep Cuts Live. It's been a blast hanging out with you guys, watching some real weird, bad WCW TV. I am back again next Tuesday. No Sunday stream due to the AEW pay-per-view. I'll be back Tuesday at 9. We're going to watch some Power Hour from 1989. But before I go, first off, don't go bowling Larry Zbyszko, but also, life sucks, it's hard, it's bad, it makes me cry regularly. But I know we can make it for the next 7 days. Get to next Tuesday. I think you can do it, I think I can do it. We'll do it together. And that's how we'll get through life, my friends. Again, this is WCW Deep Cuts Live. That's my name down there. It is 11:18 p.m. on the East Coast. Everybody, go to bed.